The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Great. We're good.
Christian's the best.
At being the worst.
My turn. My turn.
I love how you put the...
Babe.
Can we just whoa. You put that in there.
I debated whether putting in my turn or just adding in the aftermath with Jan going, whoa, babe.
We're joking around.
Jim's laughing. No, I was looking right at him.
Kind of an oaky afterbirth. That's not it. You guys, that's the best episode of The Office of all time, I think.
My turn. I like
his rinky dink plasma screen, the TV, and he just
when I want more room, I can just
the bloopers to that
scene
are outstanding.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I think that's the hardest that they ever had getting in through.
And then
episode.
John Krasinski has this squeal. Yeah. I thought my laugh was bad. Wow, come on, too soon. Christian, are you recording? You recording?
What the hell was that?
Are you recording? We got different colors. We got cats, bats, prison holes, crappy elbows, all this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
Coming at you, not live from the pit. Two men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Men podcast, and it starts right now.
Hi. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. I am your host, Christian Bring It All, and with me, as always, is...
Spencer, how are you doing?
Why are you so loud?
Good. Because I am not quiet. And to my immediate right
okay. And with us sometimes...
To my immediate right...
Hey, let him introduce himself, remember?
I'll introduce him, and I'll tell him what to say. We have the guy with a voice, Joel.
Thanks. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Yes, it's... Joel Powie back once again, joining this podcast for...
What was that you were about to say?
No, he's about to introduce a new cut from Sting's album. Yeah. Take it away.
Anyway, find me on Facebook, Voice of Joel, and everywhere else at Voice of LMB.
And if you email him directly, he will objectify you for $5 on his Patreon.
I'm not dignifying that with a response. Let's move on.
Well, we're the Sequel Men, as you know.
Yeah.
And
that's the worst line in Hollywood film.
What is?
As you know.
It is. What we do, though.
Let us expositate.
Well, how about you let me?
Okay.
How about you let me do
Christian,
this?
What have we been working on?
He's the one with rum, and I'm over here just running my mouth. Okay, go ahead.
So we're the Sequel Men, as I've said. We talk about film franchises, and right now we're rounding out the Dark Knight trilogy, and I will say this. It's been great, it's been stellar, it's been dark, and it's been night. And I just want to...
It's been quite a ride.
It has, Christian Bale. And
thanks for having me on the show.
We review them, and we're sometimes funny, and sometimes we're super serious, like I'm being right now.
And sometimes we interrupt each other.
Most of the time, actually. And by each other, it's just mainly Christian. What are we talking about today? The Dark Knight Rises. And let me tell you guys...
It's not the only thing that's right.
There
we go.
You stole my joke. Damn it, Dwight. What I was going to say was having Joel here makes this the...
shittiest show on the internet.
Me?
Son of a bitch.
What?
You took my joke. I was going to say because Joel's here, that's not the only thing that rises. But you didn't even let me have that.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't take your intro anymore.
I'm sorry, are we doing boner jokes already?
I didn't take your intro of... Are we recording?
All right, so we are... See how that feels?
So that's what that feels like.
The Dark Knight Rises. And guys, unlike Star Wars, this trilogy actually does stick the landing a little bit, I think.
I agree.
There are some weird plot holes and some weird choices, but overall...
There are.
And we'll get to those later. But,
what was the last time we saw this movie? You first, Spencer. When did you see it first? And when was the last time you saw it besides today?
Saw it in theaters. It was an actual, like, legit midnight premiere. Not a midnight premiere that starts at 7 p.m. on Thursdays.
Oh, yeah.
It was a real
long gone.
live midnight premiere. I saw it with a bunch of my friends, and I was blown away at the time. And after watching it yesterday, I realized why I was blown away. Because Bane any expectation I had, which was low, he blew it out of the water. I thought it was a great villain. That's what Batman is built on, is his rogue gal, Larry, and I think they...
His rogue gal.
Uh-huh. They really...
Well, he kind of does have one in this movie.
Mm-hmm, he does. Has a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Has a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Joel?
Yes.
Yes? Well, good morning to you as well.
That's one of the worst lines in Hollywood is when you say yes when somebody asks you a question.
I did see this one for the first time in theater, because this was 2012. So that was probably my first year in college, maybe. I think. I don't know, but it was definitely
2012.
Yeah.
When did you join Grand Valley?
Like it's a club.
Well, I was initiated in 2011. When I...
That was your
Show us your balls. Show us your balls.
No, I didn't.
Was that the initiation?
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
we're not talking about me. We're talking about Joel.
As far as the last time I saw it, before this last time I saw it, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Last time I felt like it. There.
Yeah. Well, I saw it at a midnight premiere as well, except I went to the triple play where they played Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight, and then they played the new release at midnight. So that was cool, because I don't think up till then, I think that might have been the first time I saw Batman Begins from front to back, was at that event.
Oh, I wish I'd have gone to that.
That was pretty cool. I went with a group of buddies of mine back in high school. Not high school, it was 2012. Duh. But it was some high school friends. There we go.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we had seen Dark Knight together. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I guhave a one more thing.
Oh, he wasn't
Sure,
done.
go ahead. Make it quick.
Oh, I don't want to pull a Christian.
Make it.
That's what we're going to call that from now on.
Yeah, man. But the last time I saw The Dark Knight Rises, other than 2 nights ago, when I messaged you all and gave you my thoughts just right after, was that event in 2012. So I have not seen this movie in 8 years.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you. Not all the way through. I saw a clip, the scene with Catgirl or Catwoman.
Catgirl? What is this, knockoff Batman? Yeah, and Bat-Lad.
No, that's... I only saw this movie last by scenes and clips on when it was like on TV, like the Catwoman scene at the bar with the governor, who she abducts, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the only thing. I didn't watch it from there. But full length, first time seeing this movie at the theater in my hometown. A lot of fun. First and last time I watched that all the way through. So 8 years I hadn't seen it all the way through. It's interesting to go through and watch this.
8 years later, because
8 years later. How interesting. That ties. I didn't even get that until you just made that silly face of yours.
And I itched my head.
And he itched his head, and Joel just scratched his face. Welcome to the descriptive audio version of Sequel Men the podcast. Joel is fixing his headphones, and he just set his hands on his lap.
And
now they're inching.
Joel's
they're
about
inching
to commit
towards
homicide. Okay.
His arm is moving up and down.
All I wanted to say, the last thing I want to say is I think...
Joel, knock it off. You're hitting the table.
Oh, wow.
Stop, man.
Okay, go ahead.
What I wanted to say was that I think at this point I was starting to... I mentioned last episode that I still was kind of like... that was 08. I was still in high school and I was trying to fit in, so I was like, I wasn't like invested into it. At this point, I think I was finally starting to come back around to like my nerddom and like fully embrace it and like be okay with like being excited about a Batman movie. So it made the experience more enjoyable. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. It was, I remember each of these movies, minus Batman Begins, has had a moment where I've watched on YouTube a countless amount of times. For me, this one was the fight scene, obviously.
Which one?
Where he breaks his back.
Oh.
Spoilers. But because that's something, like, I knew it was coming because in the comics.
I knew
was just
that
like, how are they going to do it? And then when he set, we'll get to that. But it was just, it was very...
That's a big one.
I like what they did with Bane here because the Bane that we've seen on screen before is just like, monkey. And this, he is what he is in the
Poison
comics.
Ivy's squeeze.
Yeah, he is what he is in the comics. He's
literally
articulate,
your driver. Yeah.
and he can strategize, and he's smart, and he can fight.
He's
and
cunning.
He's a reasonable size.
Except that gets
Tom
thrown out
Hardy.
the window once he's revealed at the end, but
Tom
we'll get
Hardy.
to that.
Tom Hardy, God bless him, because he's the one. Nobody else could have played this role. I'll just say off the top, because if you look at Tom Hardy's other roles, his face is always covered. It's always look at
What?
Look at Dunkirk. He's a pilot. His face is covered. He has to act with his eyes, with expressive eyes. Look at Mad Max. His face is covered for a portion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. When he has that claw thing, he has a thing with
Yes.
his
Well,
face is always covered at some point in the movie.
Not throughout the whole film.
Did I say that?
No, you
I
didn't.
said through
Go
at
ahead.
some point.
I
Moving
understand your point,
yeah,
Christian.
and there's other.
Or, Spencer.
Thank you. There's
Yikes.
other movies I can't think of, but
He's like, how dare you think I'm
there's
that guy?
he just his eyes do the act. He has to because he can't see his mouth.
I've only seen him
It's
in Mad
really good.
Max, this film. Haven't seen Venom yet. And even in that film, his face is covered up from the Venom, the symbiote. You guys get that?
I was trying to make a valid point.
I know.
And here you are
It
taking a dump on it. I'll walk off.
No,
Joel.
please don't.
I'll pull a Joel.
We've sat here waiting long enough for this.
Well, we don't.
Yeah.
Nothing. I was just.
Technical difficulties. It's
We
fine.
had some technical difficulties.
Technical foul.
Adam, told you.
Whitey.
Hey, Adam Sandler has a new movie coming out called Hubie Halloween. Have you seen that trailer?
No.
Spoiler: he does the stupid voice that he does in all of his movies, but it's a variation of it. It's a little different.
Oh,
Still not great.
Would you like a pizza pie?
Yes, but a little different.
A
It's
song for me, a
More
song
like
for
that one.
you. Let's sing a song in my
Does-
little brown shoe.
Does he think that that's an acting choice that needs to be made? He's coming off Uncut Gems, and now he's doing another with all of his buddies. Kevin James is in it. Steve Buscemi's in it. I don't know. A hologram
Happy
of Chris
Madison
Farley's in it.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Surprised they haven't done that yet. With all that like deep fakes and stuff, just bring him back. Have somebody do an impression of him. Bring him back.
Why don't you put me in the movie?
Not your best.
That's a shitty
Stick to Christian
Farley.
Bale. Overall, though, Dark Knight Rises, reeling it back. Christian, you think it stuck the landing. Joel?
For the most part, I think it stuck the landing. There are a few, like you said.
I guess I have no identity. It's fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The look you gave me.
I wish we were on video for this. I do. I'm sorry. Anyway, what I thought. No, I did think. I also am in the camp of yes, it stuck the landing to this trilogy, but we can go more into depth with this later. But I'm still all these years later super bitter about them not continuing these films. This is the trilogy. This is the series. This is the Batman universe that I wanted to happen. If they're going to have a universe, like a cinematic universe of Batman, this was the right direction out of all the ones that had come before, at least. So that's,
I would say yes, but also he never intended it to be universe. Like these
I know.
are all standalones.
And that's
I
the bitch of it.
wanna
Yeah,
see
That's
Yep.
the bitch of it.
Like I think these three, in their own, I wouldn't want to see them in a bigger universe because I think that would be
Okay,
cheap.
well,
I think that would be cheap.
We'll save. Fine.
I would like to see Robert Pattinson's one in a bigger. I don't even know if I want to see that one in a bigger universe because they're good enough to just be their own. Like I don't know if I want to see him with Superman.
There's potential in the Flashpoint plot.
There is,
but
we'll see. It just seems like Batman. Like this Batman wouldn't fit in the DCEU, and it seems like Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't going to fit in the DCEU.
Ben Affleck's doesn't even fit in the DCEU. It does fit in the
because it was designed specifically for it. No, not here we go. I'm done. It was designed specifically for it.
Listeners, if you're counting on me being around for the Justice League or Batman vs Superman episodes are inevitably coming. I won't be. Okay.
But these are grounded, and Pattinson seems grounded, so they wouldn't fit in this galactic.
No, then how do they do it in the animated world?
I don't know. We're not talking about
Joel, you're an expert on that.
Okay, I see your point with...
You're talking about The Dark Knight, the trilogies.
I see your point with...
I did it again.
This is great. The fact that they made a concerted effort for the Nolan films to stay grounded in reality and real world. You know, to go as far as to even, you know, he considered, instead of Bane being the enemy... the villain, it was going to be Killer Croc. But then he's like, wait, no, that's too far out there because we're doing this grounded thing.
Mm-hmm. Good choice,
So, I get it, you know, the Affleck, those films work better with the comic booky, bringing in the intergalactic enemies into it, and you can get more outlandish and whatever because they didn't make that decision to stay grounded, you know. Mm-hmm. I get it. Mm-hmm. Do I like it? Do I think it's executed properly? That's a discussion for another time, but I'm not going to be here for that anyway.
I got to agree with Joel in that. I would, after watching it.
Well, Joel, I think just...
You got me. You got me there.
All right, go ahead.
But no, I agree with you on continuing this series of films because I would have liked to see Blake become certain somebody.
There was rumors that he was cast.
I know.
Oh, it's confirmed. He's casting Robin.
I said that.
They're setting it up later. I think, here's the thing. Here's the rub. They could do it several years later, or even now, if they wanted to, and have a Batman Beyond sort of scenario with old Bruce coming back to Gotham and training Blake.
Would Bale be up for that, though?
I think he would be. He wouldn't be in the suit. He'd be the guy in the chair.
He's going to be too busy in Marvel.
What's he doing with Marvel?
You don't know?
I don't know.
He's cast as a villain in Thor, Love and Thunder.
Really? Mm-hmm. I wonder if he's Bullet Ray Bill.
That'd be Beta Ray Bill, and he's a friend of Thor's. He's not the villain.
Damn it, Dwight.
And that's a CGI
Bullet Ray Bill? That sounds like a Western.
Oh, yeah, that's Bullet Bob Blanks.
I immediately got an image of like some intergalactic cowboy when you said that, so I don't know.
No, it's funny. Do you know who Beta Ray Bill is?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar enough with...
Look at this. You're going to think his name does not... Look at this. So Beta Ray Bill...
It's a sled.
No, it's just... What do you picture Beta Ray Bill?
Let's play a game. Yeah, so I'm picturing Beta Ray Bill. That sounds really like pulpy, like campy, comic booky. So I picture somebody who shoots rays out of his butt or something.
What does he look like? What kind of person? What kind of?
You're in for a treat.
What is he to you? What is he? What do you think he looks like?
I think he has an aura surrounding him, blue.
That's Beta Ray Bill. Very interesting name for what he actually looks like. He cameos in Ragnarok.
He's like a demon.
As
he's
a statue.
Thor.
Yeah, so it's not a cameo. It's just he's hinted at. But Batman.
He's
Batman.
a horse.
Oh yes, sorry.
Should we get into it? Just act one and just go and just go and just spitball and just go.
Yeah, I think let's get into it.
Okay,
hurry up! I have to piss. Go.
Okay, well these act breakdowns are a little longer than the other ones because there's a lot that happens in this movie. I didn't want to forget.
Why are you still not saying the act?
All right, I'm going to right now. Act 1. Happy Harvey Dent Day, but also welcome to the plane heist crash plan. We meet Bane and some other mercenary dudes as they kidnap and stage the death of Dr. Pavel. He deals with nuclear stuff, I think. They fly away. Bane is a mysterious bodybuilder with a cool mask. We learn that Bruce Wayne has been a recluse for the past 8 years, which consequently is the same amount of time Batman has been missing, but still nobody seems to be able to make the connection that Bruce is Batman. Are we all taking stupid pills? He's a rich guy with plenty of time on his hands, and Batman is a dude with gadgets and super vehicles, and now that they both are missing for 8 years, come on, people. But I digress. Bruce is confronted and robbed by a maid that is really Selina Kyle, who is strongly hinted at to be Catwoman. She steals his mom's pearls, and we're also introduced to Miranda Tate, who is also trying to get a global cleansing program to save the Earth. We also meet John Blake, who is a cop that is truly one of the good ones. This is a cop who would probably support defund the police because he believes in justice that much. He wants to catch the bad guys no matter what. He's also the calmest hothead I've ever seen. He knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but that's because he's competent. Anyway, this Daggett guy wants a lot of control and money, so he's working with Bane and this alien-looking dude while also kind of working with Selina Kyle, who's stolen Bruce Wayne's fingerprints. While this is going down, Bruce is researching Selina and thinking about maybe getting back in the game even as a decrepit old man who can barely walk and has been lying in bed like Grandpa Joe for 8 years. But I guess if Joe can do it for a tour of a chocolate factory and dance, so can Bruce. He has no cartilage in his body. His elbows suck. His brain is damaged and his knees are non-existent. All while somehow still functioning as a person. Jim Gordon gets shot down a sewer waterfall soon after being brought to Bane for questioning. Bane has a plan for Gotham for a takeover or something. Long story short, Bane infiltrates the stock exchange in an attempt to get away from the cops. He gets a huge assist from dumbass Batman, who diverts the police away from the criminals to chase him, all to show that he's back. Obviously, they let Bane go because they want Batman because they think he killed Harvey. It changes from day to night, quicker than John Kerry's political views, and the next thing you know, Batman and Catwoman are fighting together on a rooftop, and then they fly away together. And that's Act 1.
Okay, well, let's just say one thing. It's not Batman's fault
it definitely
that they
is.
diverted the cops to chase him and not Bane. That's all on Matthew Modine's character.
No.
Is that his correct name?
I don't know, but you're wrong. Even
it's
Alfred.
Modine. I know his last name is Modine.
Even Alfred knows you're wrong.
Is that man the new police commissioner then? Or the new chief of police? Or who is he?
Gordon is still the commish.
Yeah, but who's that other guy?
I think he's a lieutenant or something, because he has the
Is
the
he
gold
the old
strings,
lieutenant? Okay.
The gold ropes.
Well, it's his fault that Bane gets away.
No, it is not. It's
yes,
Batman's.
it is.
It's literally Batman.
No, they say, no, get on. Listen.
Batman knows he's wanted for murder.
Listen.
One bike pulled off. No hostage. Shall we pursue?
Negative. Stay on the Batman. He's getting away. Who do you want to catch, huh? Some robber or the son of a bitch who killed Harvey Dent?
Some thief or the man who...
It's the same mistake from Dark Knight.
Who would you pick?
One man or the entire mob?
Who would you pick?
I would have picked Bane.
At the time, Bane is just a thief. So let him get away.
Yeah,
they think Bane murdered a person.
Well, first of all, this is going back. Why did Batman take the fall when they could have just blamed it on any old criminal? They could have said the mob retaliated and killed Harvey Dent, and they could have done the same exact thing with the Harvey Dent Act.
Because none of them were there. Batman was there.
And Batman could have retired without being turned into a criminal.
Because Batman was there. Jim Gordon, eyewitness.
Yeah, but no one else knew that except Jim Gordon and his family. And also that's, I think, the reason. I don't think his wife left him. I think he sent them away, or they mutually agreed to go to Cleveland, I think, where they are.
Oh, no, you want to go to Cleveland.
Shut up. But because the kids know that Batman, they know the truth. They know that Batman isn't a criminal. You can't have them in Gotham to blow the gasket, if you will.
Yeah,
what's the expression?
Oh, it's to blow a Joel.
Joel's expression.
As I mentioned on the first episode,
okay.
I Oh no, never mind. That was plug. That was plug. This is blow. Never mind.
Yeah,
he's getting plugged and blown.
But anyway, Act 1. I hear what you're saying. This movie, the story of the film takes place 8 years after.
And I like how they go about that. Instead of, it's a couple months or it's 1 year. It gives it time.
Because it leaves some inconsistencies later on.
How does 8
and
years...
I'm sorry. How old was Bruce? I almost said Bruce Bane.
Exactly.
How old was Bruce Bane? I did it.
Conspiracy theory.
How old was Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight?
I don't know. It's like
that's my
30.
That's my.
He was 30 in Batman Begins. And how long did we say The Dark Knight was after Batman Begins?
I don't know. 6 months maybe. Whatever.
6 months.
A matter of months.
I don't know. Why? And he has, and presumably during these 8 years, he's given up the cape and cowl. He's not crime fighting. He's not doing acrobatics across the rooftops of Gotham. Why is his cartilage gone? Why? What is happening with him?
Because he jumps on vehicles from 800
because he hasn't been doing that for 8 years. Why is he having some deterioration of some sort? Why is this happening to him if he hasn't been Batman for 8 years? He's not going to atrophy by not doing anything.
Good points, honestly, but let me explain it to you.
And I like how they put gray lines in his hair. I like how they put grayness, like Mr. Fantastic, in his hair.
I didn't notice that.
But I'm not buying the cane. Thing. I'm not buying it.
Because if you think about
He's no Bruce Bane. Wayne, damn it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Your point.
So just bear with me here and just try to follow. I looked at it as, let's just say he's 38. Let's even say he's 40. Let's just say he's 40, okay? It's amplified because of the beating his body has taken. It's like when a running back in the NFL is only 35, but in athletics, that's really old.
But if he retires at 35 and 8 years later, he's like, oh, you have no cartilage.
So Spencer,
that would make sense.
Spencer, I hope you'll be proud of me for this reference.
Oh.
So they Brett Favre'd him.
I don't get it.
He was around for a long time in sports ball. Good. Welcome to Joel's Sports Corner.
He was in his 40s when he retired, but that isn't that old. But when you're doing stuff that is older, it amplifies what I mean. Especially if you're not using things, it just kind of deteriorates.
No, but what has he been doing the last 8 years?
When you sit down for a long time and you stand up real quick.
He's been a recluse for 8 years? He hasn't left the manor in 8 years?
We don't know if that's 100% sure.
Pissing in mason jars.
Because maybe for a while he was still trying a little bit, or running from the cops or something.
The only thing we know that he's been doing in this time is working on that fusion project and putting all of his money into that. And apparently what's the story behind that? It turned into a dud. It was a dud of a project.
Gamma. He changed his name from Bruce Wayne to Bruce Banner.
Mm-hmm.
He made the crossover.
I don't know. There's something about the plot setup that's just not sensical in that way. You know what?
Fair enough. You're right.
8 years, he hasn't been doing anything, and I don't like the time difference.
I like how they don't just come out and say it with like a title card, though. I like how it's said, but it fits in the script. That's what I meant.
If you think,
you know what I mean?
If you think The Last Jedi started
here we go
immediately after The Force Awakens and thought that was a bad narrative decision, this is the exact opposite.
I thought Star Wars was bad.
I think the time jump is too big.
So you're saying split the difference, make it 4 years, 5 years?
Yes, something like that.
Fair enough.
Because it doesn't make his body being like that, unless it's an act, of course, which it's not. Because the doctor told him it was.
If you think about a car that you haven't driven in a long time and it just
the human body is not a car.
But I'm saying it's similar. If you look at
but he hasn't been laying around all day.
Look at Charlie Bucket's grandparents.
What is it with you and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Because it's a parallel. It's a ring theory. It's a chocolate ring theory.
Okay.
It's not at all.
Bruce Wayne is Willie?
It's a conspiracy theory.
Don't say chocolate ring.
What?
Why? No. Do explain, Joel. Why not?
You have to know you say that.
Yeah, like a donut, like a chocolate donut.
Yeah,
that's
who likes chocolate donuts?
I do. I like getting real deep.
Is that a euphemism?
Donuts. Like just whole first. Just
okay, stop. Okay. What do we think about
Catwoman's introduction?
Catwoman. Yes.
I think it's good. We all know from the casting, like it wasn't like a surprise. We all knew who she was, but I really liked how she like turned on a dime. Like, oh, Matt, Bruce, and then he was like, something's gone. She's just like,
oops. Nobody told me it was uncrackable.
Oops. And I just really liked the
love
switch.
that too.
No one told me it was uncrackable.
She's very good.
Love that too.
She's very good.
I don't think so.
Okay,
That's
wait a
fine.
minute. Is the scene where they dance in this act as well?
No.
Okay, I didn't want to bring that up yet.
And leave so little for the rest of us.
I just think it's not Catwoman enough.
What would be Catwoman enough to you?
Yeah, what would be Catwoman enough?
Michelle Pfeiffer again? In her 50s?
Cats by red,
No,
radioactive cat
Not to
biting
say
her.
that wouldn't be good. I'm not trying to age people out of good roles.
Radioactive cats biting.
I don't know.
Or scratching.
I felt
Does she
in a
get
way-
cat scratch fever?
No, just like I felt like it was a little turned down town. You're gonna send me on a rant again. This is the problem with.
Be welcome, Rand.
Is she not punk enough for you?
We're not
Okay, go ahead.
gonna get into a masterclass of punk again, but no, it's just I feel like when I think of Catwoman, you think of like she was a little flirty and like she's got to be flirty. She's got to be like I don't know more.
Well, I
She's
thought...
got to. They didn't bring the. They made her a cat burglar and so cute, great.
I like that.
But which that is always going to be a part of Catwoman. But also like they didn't really bring in the. Wow, there's kind of something wrong with her upstairs, up in the brain, which I think should have.
They don't really show the motivation of why she's so catty.
Yeah.
No, like why? Other than that, I think she's perfect.
Oh!
But whoa.
Hey.
You gotta take a minute to change your shorts there?
Because you've cat to be kidding me with this. Am I right? Well, I don't think she's a traditional Catwoman.
Rachel!
She's not a traditional
Better than the
Catwoman.
joke that Christian made earlier, so.
But very good.
It is.
Okay, good.
Very good, Master Wayne. Very good.
They don't do a good reason.
I just think that.
They don't show you a good reason of why she's like theming her
poor.
after a cat. I mean, does she intentionally have her goggles like
No.
that?
That's the thing. I don't think
she's
she is.
poor, but it was more like a. And I guess she's not a full blown villain, but like they.
Why does
kinda
she
just
steal
made her
from
like
rich
a
people?
desperate, another desperate like mid-20s.
Like an Oliver Twist?
I felt like she was just like a broke college student. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Maybe.
And she was just like a broke bratty college student. And
I don't know about that.
She was a
at a lot of
brat
points.
Mountain.
Okay,
Yeah,
quick
I
question.
don't think they were supposed to. I think they didn't want to make her cat-like because it could be Catwoman. That's cheesy. Yeah. She only has the name and is hinted at being Catwoman, and by that I mean it's not shoved in your face. The ears aren't even really ears.
They don't
the costume
say that
isn't
she's
modeled after a cat.
Catwoman.
No, she's a cat burglar, which is a real thing.
Yes.
Which that's
Yeah.
how cat ladies are born. They steal a bunch of cats, right?
But
That's not true.
No.
Cat burglars are stealthy.
Yeah, they just made her Selena Kyle in this.
basically, her story is that did she grow up on the streets and poor and in poverty? And one thing that's a deep theme in this movie. Did you want to say something?
Well, it's kind of jumping ahead to the dancing thing, but I'll just say it. She basically, it ties into this conversation. I guess she does have a motivation because it just doesn't come up till later, but she basically says, I take from those who have more than they need.
Everything we do is collated and quantified. Everything sticks.
Was that how you justify stealing?
I take what I need from those who have more than enough. I don't stand on the shoulders of people with less.
Robin Hood?
I think I do more to help someone than most of the people in this room. Than you.
I steal only what I can afford.
It's not like
That's everything.
She's stealing
Okay, Aladdin.
from the poor or from the middle class even. She's saying, I'm stealing from the rich, which 2020.
Okay.
Robin Hood.
We're gonna get into this more and more as we continue through the movie, but this movie, like The Dark Knight, deals with
You killed her.
what is that?
That's from Wizard of Oz.
What is that?
It's from Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I didn't mean to. No, it's a good thing. Or whatever they say.
But
Wizard of Oz, everybody.
Like The Dark Knight, this movie deals with what's going on during the time of when the movie was made. Like the recession, the Great Recession.
Yeah.
And during this movie, I think you also had the Occupy Wall Street sort of thing going on.
Oh, shoot. Yeah,
and this movie really
Yeah.
leans into that big time, explores that.
Yeah.
And you get some of that with her in this movie because she's basically the vehicle for that. And then Bane jumps on board and it becomes a huge theme. But with her, she's just basically kind of a edgier, seductive, sexier Aladdin-like figure, kind of.
Yeah, I like her better.
Aladdin was a dude.
I know, but the analogy's there, and he started
there.
singing it, so I thought it was apt.
Yeah.
So shut your mouth.
Oh, I get it. The thievery.
Shut the fuck up. That's
Prince
just
Ali.
okay. So what does we learn about Dent? They have Harvey Dent Day. This lie has been
concocted by
Batman and
Jimmy
Gordon for 8 years.
He almost reads a letter.
He
Remember
almost
that.
does read
Remember
the letter, and that's important.
Perhaps for another time.
Yeah, because Bane takes it.
He just... You
After
mean
he checks
he's
it.
the commissioner of police and he just took it?
Is that possible?
Bane's not the commissioner of police.
But
search the body, then I'll kill you.
I love how cool, like, just calm he is. And his voice, people complain about his voice, but isn't that like what his voice
He's
is
just
in
matter
the
of fact. He's very matter of fact.
Yeah.
Do you feel in charge?
It's just cool how his voice isn't really that intimidating. It's just it's like kind of terrifying, like, because it's not like deep and, It's so,
I made fun of it for the longest time because it sounds like an old guy with a mask on.
Yeah.
Like, give me my porridge, please. Like,
that's what makes him even more imposing as a villain because he's
that probably. Now that I think of it, it has to do with his mouth being all mangled, probably underneath the mask.
I just you gotta wonder what it looks like.
What it looks like. They don't show you.
Like,
either.
what
That's
the
good.
hell?
There's deleted
That's
scenes
good,
where
bro.
it shows.
Are you serious?
What? Where are these?
I don't know. I don't know. They're deleted.
I'm glad they didn't show it because it leaves it to the imagination. You don't need to show
You just read
everybody.
about them.
Like they shot
Right.
a more of his like origin.
And boy,
they didn't show.
They pull a fast one on me later in the movie.
They do real fast.
Yeah.
But if
they got
anybody-
me with
if
it,
you
but I
know-
figured it out.
I got you.
I mean, but if you know Joey King, you knew right away. The actress, Joey King.
Okay.
But can we just talk about his introduction real quick? Because again, it's almost
man.
it's a mirrored of how Joker is. You know, his face is covered. You don't know it's him. I mean, you kind of do. And he's with his people.
You're
and it's
right.
this operation, and he's
Interesting.
revealed with a cool line.
A lot of loyalty for a hired gun!
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
Why does it amplify his voice, though? Do you think he has like a little
I
microphone
think that's
in there?
cool.
Oh, it is cool. It is cool because you have
his
to be able
voice
to hear him.
mix is way louder too. If you notice,
Yes.
It is.
yeah.
They bumped it up a
It
couple
looks like
dBs
he has
there.
a speaker.
And
Like he has. It looks like
There has been some criticism based on the mix in Nolan's movies, Christopher Nolan's movies, that the dialogue is mixed too low among everything else.
Not
and I
Bane's.
read an article about that from a few years ago during Interstellar, and he quoted that he likes sometimes treating dialogue like a sound effect.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. It's like they're all
But-
talking over here, and then perhaps he does wonder in my brain.
In my
Eats the microphone.
just in my opinion, I'm a little biased because I'm from the audio field, and Joel is too.
Ish.
You kind of, if you can't, especially if dialogue is important to understanding what's going on, you can't bury it. I don't think you should bury it in the mix. You need to have it in front of everything else so people can hear it. You shouldn't be like straining.
Well, you know how I am with my audio. I sometimes
I know.
bitch at you.
Yeah. You're very touchy.
And I always give when I send over my intros to you guys, I always give like +2 dB of boost to them.
Not you guys, Christian.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
touch
Yeah,
Christian.
Not you guys. I abdicate myself from
I
that.
would not touch it. I don't know the first thing about it. I'd lose it. I just make it worse.
Yeah. No, but I'm the type to I really raise my voice because I'm so important.
No, you're not. No. We're equally important here on the show, on Sequel Men, the podcast. So
yeah, just Christian and I a little bit more because we're
then maybe don't interrupt people. Okay, thanks.
So what? True. Tell me, what's the Harvey Dent Act? What does it do exactly?
I don't know.
They don't explain what the Harvey Dent Act does.
What does a Harvey Dent actually do? He's not a Harvey Dent. He doesn't shoot people or lock people up or fly.
This is one instance where they could have done that because they mention it and we get the gist. Okay, the Harvey Dent Act allowed them to clean up the streets big time. Basically, there's no organized crime anymore, given the mayor's speech. But what is the act? What is Harvey Dent Act?
Really
what does
know.
it? What's the policy? I don't know. Maybe that would have been kind of contradictory to my criticisms.
I wish Alfred would explain that.
Where you have to sit and explain like what it is to the audience.
Yeah, but that's something we needed.
I don't know if we need it because we get the point of what it did, but it would still be nice to know what it is.
I think it is just the fact of.
And is it legal?
I will make it legal.
I would say so.
I think it tied in with
this movie,
the whole RICO thing, and I don't know. So, but they.
What about civil rights?
Yeah,
Fuck them.
What kind? Is it like the Patriot Act? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to think and talk about that. I think it might be in the novelization. I read an article.
Sounds like another podcast. All right.
Hey Joel, where's the Bible? Where's the Bat Bible?
I got it. It doesn't say anything about that in here.
Anything interesting that we can discuss?
Oh, I have fun fact.
Act 1?
Fun fact. We didn't even do trivia facts. That's okay.
No,
though.
we did. I have a lot to talk about.
Do you know
in the
what
next
his
episode.
mask was modeled after?
Good question.
It's in here.
A gorilla.
Oh, that's not in here.
Never mind. Oh, really?
That's true. Yeah, gorilla.
Joel was proven wrong. What?
He had other ideas, and I can't remember, but a gorilla is what they went with. And you can tell, I mean, just the shape and how it looks like the teeth. Like a gorilla.
Here's another interesting thing. I was watching a documentary today, and Nolan talked about this movie being like a historical epic. How do you think of that?
Sure.
What is your opinion on that? What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, Joel.
All I have to bring to the table as far as the influence of the film is...
what does it say in 1 Bruce chapter 3, verse 1 through 12?
Stop it.
In the Bat Bible.
Okay, here's what I got for you.
What about 2nd Alfred?
I will...
Please read us the book of Nolan.
Put my head through this window.
Go ahead. We don't even have windows in here.
I'm looking at it.
They don't know. I don't want them to find out where I live.
A window's going to find out where you...
Hey. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Reverend.
So you said that like each film is kind of a different genre.
Yes.
So
go
this
ahead.
one was the disaster movie. Okay, this was I guess going along with the epic theme, but
yeah,
disaster movie aesthetic. So that's the whole thing, and that we're going to talk about what happens with Bane and when shit hits the fan and stuff like that. But keep that in mind. That's the one. That's what they were going for.
That's what he said. I'm sorry.
That is what he said.
But he did add the layer of it being compared to a historical epic.
Yeah.
Whereas Batman Begins is your origin story. The second chapter is a crime drama, and then this one is your disaster film sort of aesthetic.
And
like you said.
That, he says right here, moving into another genre, the disaster film genre. And then to do that, they actually used source material. The 1999 No Man's Land, I guess it was some sort of crossover comic influence they drew from. So they were actually able to use some of the comics to influence the disaster theme still. So there's their little dedication to the comic books. And there's more of that, of course, but...
I gotta
talk about with Bane.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with any Batman comic material stuff.
I'm not either. I just have the words in front of me. That's okay.
The way I was introduced to Batman was through the animated series and the old movies.
And here's the
Batman
thing.
and Robin.
like
forever.
There's different facets to every fandom. You know, like every Batman fans, in each fandom, there are fans that start into the franchise a different way. And so you're going to have the people who are like, oh, I've read the original comics. Oh, did this and whatever. For me, like I said, it's the animated series, and that's kind of my cornerstone. And then it's these films. And, you know,
you really got to watch the animated series.
And the Arkham series.
It's amazing.
I don't know if I've mentioned this in the other episodes, but Joel has his Bat Bible, cool, and his backpack, cool. But
it's show and tell. I get
my
it.
wedding ring has the Batman symbol on it.
Cool.
So
that is cool.
I mean, that's symbolizing forever.
Yeah, Batman forever.
Yeah.
Oh.
That I'm running down. I'm running down the hall.
That's not even in Batman Forever.
I don't know.
But Bane.
But stop.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I like how he's not like super bulked out in a stupid dumb suit.
Who, Bane?
Yeah. Like that's real muscle. Tom Hardy put real muscle on.
He actually looks like
he's imposing.
They didn't inject balloon.
He could
up
punch a hole in a
suit.
cinder block.
He could, and he did. Well, the character did.
It's also interesting. He's not like Bane in Batman and Robin, but he's still got that huge muscle bulk to him.
Yeah, but it's real muscle.
It is pretty intimidating. I would not want to be punched in the face by Tom Hardy. Okay,
I can't remember the trivia fact.
I want Tom Softy.
But
someone say trivia.
But no, why you gotta do that?
Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
Can't switch it off.
But I can't remember what he mixed a couple when Tom Hardy was training, like his fighting style.
Oh yeah,
it's very MMA. I think is what he said, and you notice by his moves, that it is. It's cool. He's good. Like it's good. His fighting style.
Except
is good.
You don't really see him fight in this act. It's
no. I'm just saying in general, Bane. Okay. I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Did he kill that guy at the stock exchange? The one who just got his shoes shined.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh man, here's a ring theory for you.
Okay.
And we're gonna see this again later on. I get some very Joker mixed in with Bane vibes from his little antics at the stock exchange. Mm-hmm. You see, and you're going to see this in this movie. This movie kind of is a amalgamation of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and what makes both of those movies great. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a mixture of both in this movie. Batman Begins, Dark Knight equals The Dark Knight Rises. And you see that in how he goes about this plan. He's a schemer with the stock exchange, and how they sneak in. It's very much like the bank heist, kind of. It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Except it's way bigger than the bank, too. The stakes are bigger. Not because it's the New York Stock Exchange.
Nah.
But, that's just interesting. Everything about this movie ups the ante, I think.
It does.
It does.
When you think about it. Because it was a bank in the last movie. Now we're doing the whole damn stock exchange.
The whole damn stock exchange.
Except they don't steal anything.
Yeah, it wasn't very well executed.
Not really.
No.
But at least an amazing chasing.
As in Bane did a shitty job. That's
right.
But
it was his first attempt.
The main.
Well, he didn't have a school bus to escape with.
You bring up Joker.
Thank you.
You bring up Joker. The thing with The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So, with the Joker, it's like, okay, Joker outwitted Batman. For this one, it's like, no, Batman needs to get his ass kicked. So now we're going to have someone's going to out-strength the Batman, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was the emphasis. So that's why I don't think, to me, it doesn't seem like they put as much of an emphasis on making all of the schemes very brainy, or you know what I'm saying? They're more aggressive and like guerrilla tactic to me.
Well, yeah, that's why
hit and run sort of thing.
Yeah. I think Nolan wanted to test Batman's like strength, because the last two, he can take out the Joker. He's not a fighter, and he can take out Scarecrow because he's not a fighter. This one, he chose. I thought it was interesting. They chose that when he's kind of this falling apart, broken man, that's when he decided to test his strength. It was a good play. It added more adversity.
Now I'm thinking it's
adversity.
like it does, but now I'm thinking, look at that. A viewer could look at that and be like, oh, well then that doesn't really make Bane look very strong if you're making Bruce into some recluse and some hermit, and that's broken.
It did the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what else is cool?
I don't know.
They kind of mixed the Joker.
Why do we need to
and
break
Scarecrow.
his body if it's already broken?
Right. Because that's the comics. But cool concept with Bane here. What they did was they took the gas, like the mask element of Scarecrow, the poison sort of element, and they took the scheming of the Joker and they put it together and added some strength.
See, yep. That's what I'm talking about.
So what you're saying, I get what you're saying.
He's like a Frankenstein monster in that sense.
Yeah, because it does have that, like the venom that is pumped through.
Yes.
It doesn't. He doesn't use it against other people, but he does through it.
You never really tell, and that's a good example of introducing intrigue without over-explaining it. Like they don't say, this is Bane's mask. It is his weak point. It pumps gas into his mouth. Like
no, they bring it up organically.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, is it true they said about the man? You know, if
it's gonna blow.
It would be extremely painful. Yeah. You're a big guy.
For you.
You know who that is? Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but he's also on a show that I like a lot too.
Game of Thrones.
2 of them, actually.
Yeah.
What guy?
The guy, the tell me about Bane, the CIA guy at the beginning, from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
He's from Game of Thrones. He plays Littlefinger.
That's why he looked so familiar.
Yeah, Littlefinger.
Okay.
Anybody else annoyed that John Blake is constantly called a hothead?
Yeah.
I don't think he is being one. He's just saying, hey, should we go down there? It's like, get this hothead. It's like, dude, what? What are you talking about? You mean for doing his job little better than the rest of you?
That is annoying. The line, like that's his nickname. Hothead, your shit face, your piss stain.
Gets to Jim Gordon easy. I was gonna call you just the commish. Shit face, the shit mission. Nothing. Shut up. Shut up. You wouldn't shut up. Sorry, love you. No, but that's just really annoying how he just calls him a hothead the whole time when he's just trying to do his job. He's okay. Sorry, excuse him for not being lazy, like you, Lieutenant, or whatever the hell. Right? Like,
yeah, we don't even know where he is.
That's a gas explosion. Okay, but there's men down there. Would you stop being a hothead, please?
Speaking of the hothead guy, Mr. Modine, I believe that's his name. I think he's the new president of the Screen Actors Guild. But anyways,
in this movie,
you get a sense that during these 8 years, they've gotten complacent with the lack of crime in Gotham. Right. So you're, and this is, remind me of this later on, please. Don't forget.
No.
You see, through this complacency, Gotham is getting to a sense of normalcy. You're seeing corruption eke back into society with these the governor, the new lieutenant or whatever. They're talking behind Gordon's back.
Anyone shown him the crime stats?
He goes by his gut, and it continues to bother him no matter what the numbers.
Must be popular with his wife.
Not really. She took the kids and left for Cleveland.
He'll have plenty of time for visits. The mayor's going to dump him in the spring.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a hero.
A war hero. This is peacetime.
Yeah, mayor's going to dump him in the spring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're seeing that creep in because they've gotten used to peacetime.
He's a war hero. This is peacetime. That's the line.
This is peacetime. We can do whatever we want now, like sort of mentality. Yeah. Like, and this is and that ties in with the themes of the Occupy Wall Street stuff. The themology through the movie, where the people in power are oppressive towards those beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what motivates Selena Kyle, and she's kind of got we'll see a kind of a Scarlet Widow, Black Widow. She's got like a Black Widow sort of thing from the Avengers, where I just want to clean my file. I got blood on my file. Yeah,
red in her ledger.
Yeah, she's got. Thank you. She's got red in her ledger.
And I don't think that's a good... that's another thing I don't like particularly.
There's another bigger reason for the clean slate.
Okay, I guess you'll remind me of that later, but initially it's just kind of like, why? You know, like, why are you having Catwoman? Why is she so concerned? It's like conflicting motivations, because first you think that she's like, oh, eat the rich. And then now it's like, oh, no, I want to be a good citizen again. I want a clean record. What? I don't know. It just was kind of confusing to me. So, I don't know.
I don't think necessarily it's that I want to be a good citizen again. It's that she just wants to clean all her background out of existence.
She's like Robin Hood.
Not so she can have a clean start.
Go off the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start a new life, I guess.
Alfred has a lot of stories in this.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot. Do you think Bruce ever is just like, are we doing... Okay, yep.
Alfred, I've heard this before.
When I went to Burma... Yep, you said that in the last one.
Yeah.
When I went to Paris... That's a new one.
Yeah.
I had a vision.
Tell me the one about the guy with the rubies again.
No, he does have a lot of stories. He does give us some exposition.
Mr. Wayne, if you would just shut
prison.
your mouth, I'll get do with it.
He talks about the prison.
There is a prison in a more ancient part of the world. A pit where men are thrown to suffer and die. But sometimes a man rises from the darkness. Sometimes the pit sends something back.
Bane.
Born and raised in hell on earth.
Born in prison?
No one knows why or how he escaped. But they do know that once he did, he was trained by Ra's al Ghul, your mentor.
How does Alfred know? Was he in the prison?
Well, let me tell you. When I went to... what country... Actual question. Where is this prison located?
When I brushed your teeth like your mother and father.
Does he say where the prison is? Like what country or what city?
No. They don't. The only other location that they never talk about anywhere else...
Except Paris and Burma.
In this movie, except Paris and Burma.
And
they have the president show up, too. So, obviously, Gotham is in the United States, I'm assuming.
It absolutely is, yeah.
Well, they don't mention Metropolis at all, which would have been cool.
They mention Rapid City.
What is Rapid City?
Arch rivals of Gotham.
Is Rapid City anywhere in the comics? Or anything else?
Joel?
What?
You got the Bible?
Rapid
Tell us.
City.
I don't...
That would have been an opportunity to be like...
The authors of this book don't give a shit about
Gotham.
Rapid City, I can tell you that.
Well, that's great.
I can tell you where it was shot.
Please do.
Okay.
I'm going to guess. Pittsburgh, yeah, because guess
go.
who cameos in it? We'll get to it.
Yep, there you go.
Actually, you guys wouldn't know, but...
Well, how do you know?
Because I know the players and I know the color scheme. What is this guy? I'll tell you. No, but... Also,
Okay,
another slightly annoying thing is Batman. He's such a method actor. He does the voice when nobody's around and when people already know him, and it kind of gets to me a little bit. In the 12 minutes that he's actually Batman in this movie,
they're good, but I will say it's cool. Okay, let's get into the action sequences, and since we're talking about Batman,
let's.
I love his entrance in this movie. Like Batman's return, like in the tunnels, in the highway under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome when he shuts the lights off and the cops.
Oh, you're in for a show tonight, son.
Yeah, I like him. I like his character.
And then he shoots at Batman. Put that thing away before you hurt yourself.
Sir, I think you got the wrong animal on that one, sir.
Not quite as Wisconsin, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But no, just that chase scene was awesome. I was watching it by myself the other night, and I was like out loud going like, "That's fucking awesome!" Like
it's cool. It's cool.
Just seeing him on the Batpod again, and especially when he's getting chased by all the cops, which was cool blocking and logistical organizing behind that. That was cool. And I do like the change of city. I didn't know if it was filmed in Pittsburgh or wherever else.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Because Chicago was the last one.
Yeah, this was New York.
Gotham
I thought you said Pittsburgh.
Gotham is like Asgard.
Okay.
It's just is. It's a people.
Asgard
it's
isn't
not a real
place.
city.
But when...
Yeah, right. You're right.
At the end of the chase, when he does the flippy thing on the pod, anytime that happens, that's cool.
It's used
I don't
a
care.
lot in this one.
It's cool.
It is
but
cool.
he goes into the tunnel. Everyone thinks he's cornered. And then you hear the...
You might have the wrong animal there,
like the bat.
And yes, Mr. Wayne, it comes in black.
That was so cool.
Yeah, the bat.
The sound effect.
I like it.
And how, man, you think you got him, but nope, he flew away. That was cool. And
I call it the bat.
Somebody needs to put that sound bite in there, like edit
and then just push it.
The film. But you don't.
Isn't that immediately before he runs into Selena?
Yes, because then he picks her up.
Because they fight on the ceiling.
They fight.
No guns.
On the rooftop.
No
on the ceiling. They're not fighting. It's not Inception.
Why?
The Inception dream sequence. They're fighting on the walls. They're fighting on the ceiling. He has a bat after all.
What did I say?
On the ceiling.
Neo shows up. It's the fucking Matrix.
Do you notice a guy falls down?
Keanu shows up. Whoa.
Did you notice the guy falling down without being kicked by Batman on the rooftop?
I didn't.
There's a scene where there's a guy up there and he's fighting two guys, kind of. There's a guy 10 feet away from him. Batman kicks a guy 5 feet away falls down.
I think I saw that in a criticism video of fight scenes.
You did.
But I do remember it now.
Yes.
But going off of that, the other stuff, the action, the chase, that's all really cool. But the choreography, the fight choreography is a little goofy.
But at least we see more of fighting.
The fight choreography in The Dark Knight is way better.
I disagree.
I will say.
We don't see any of it.
Yes, you do.
It's all quick cuts and close-ups.
In the garage scene, with the dogs and whatnot, he does this cool like flip thing where he goes like Helga does to the four-eyed kid. In Hey Arnold.
Okay.
She always punches him in the face.
Oh.
He does something like that, except it's with his elbow, and he has just a cool stance when it's cool. Look it up. But this movie, it looks a little silly. I mean, you think seeing Batman kicking ass and Catwoman too, and her debut scene of whooping ass on the rooftop, not a ceiling, sorry. You think it would be cool, but
it was kind of cool.
It looked a little silly.
I liked
in the court. Maybe it was because of in canon in the world he's injured, so it might be affecting his movement a little bit. But other than that, yeah.
That's my favorite line of the movie.
Oh yeah,
we can tell.
Yeah.
We can tell.
He gets catnapped. I don't know. That was stupid.
I like how
that was a shitty pun. I'm trying to think of a cat pun.
I like how Alfred also isn't like other Alfreds or like you'd think like a servant would be, where he just bows down to everything. He calls Bruce out.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what are you doing?
Are the police supposed to be investigating them?
They don't have the tools to analyze it.
They would if you gave them to them.
One man's tool is another man's weapon.
In your mind, perhaps there aren't many things you can't turn into a weapon.
Alfred, enough. The police weren't getting it done.
Perhaps they might have. If you had made a sideshow of yourself.
You thought I didn't have it in me?
No, you led a bloated police force a merry chase with a load of fancy new toys from Fox. What about when you come up against him? What then?
I'll fight harder, I always have.
Take a look. His speed, his ferocity, his training. I see the power of belief. I see the League of Shadows resurgent.
Like, the cops would have had him until you showed up.
But this is an issue as well, where it's a little inconsistent with Alfred's. Okay, quick side. Does Alfred leave this actor in the next one?
I think right at the start of the next one.
Okay, well, I'll save it until then. But anything else for this first act here? I do. What do you think about Selena's fake crying?
I hate it.
Well, it's not supposed to be good. She's literally acting.
I know it's not supposed to be good, but I still hate it.
I like it.
No, I just.
It's a little cringy, but
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, so that means it's good acting.
Yeah, Joel.
I guess.
That's just.
Catch you later. Can you explain just real quick that scene?
What scene?
When she had the congressman or whatever, and she brought up to the bar and met the alien guy. What was the plan?
That's why I started laughing during your summary breakdown. Because you said he was an alien guy because he looks like a little strange. He's in not Tupperware. He's in Pacific Rim.
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
Oh, he's in Signs.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the alien.
No, you're stupid.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
Easy, bitch.
I'm kidding. Oh, we got Jesse Pinkman in the house.
Yeah, Batman, bitch.
Yeah, what if he was Batman?
Jesse, I told you to grab the right tub. This is not.
Was that supposed to be Walt?
Yeah.
All right, good. That was really good. That was
No,
Walt.
it's not.
No,
Fuck
you're right.
you and your eyebrows.
Great line.
But
I don't have much more to add. I just like how Alfred doesn't, well, sir, would you like me to give you a happy ending after your massage? He's like, no.
What?
You. I'm like, he's acting
He's
like his
listen
father.
here, you little shit.
He's acting like his father.
Yeah.
He is his father
Father.
figure. And I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. He's his father figure. You want to go to Act 2? Joel, you want to go to Act 2?
Yeah.
Bible Boy, you want to go to Act 2?
Oh,
Christian?
one more thing.
Yes.
And this ties into a theme from The Dark Knight that we talked about a little bit. And that Harvey wasn't a symbol. He's just a man. So he couldn't take over for Batman.
Right.
In that
So that's
context.
why they set it up like this.
Yes, he's a
created
martyr.
their narrative. That's
yes,
why.
they made him into a symbol, into a martyr.
Yeah.
I got
they could
it.
Save the city.
I know why you were like, they could have picked any villain or any bad guy to take the fall for
Right.
Harvey's murder. This is why. Because if it's Batman, there's no investigation. They're not wasting time. Oh, it's Batman. Where is he? We don't have to look for him. He's gone. We know that it's Batman. But if it was if they picked a guy, there'd be an investigation. They would probably arrest a couple people that aren't, you know what I mean? It takes the complication out of it. So that's why. Because Batman can take it.
They could say it's the Joker.
Okay, but it's not.
Good.
That would still be an investigation.
I don't know. It's just...
And he wasn't there. Like, he wasn't there. It wouldn't hold up. He was hanging. And there was police that had the Joker in a different that wouldn't have held up. They couldn't have said that. Because the SWAT team got the Joker when he was hanging upside down.
I know.
So
but
that's why.
It could have been...
Nope.
It could have been another instance of, well, I didn't pull the trigger.
No.
I didn't kill Harvey.
Well...
That was I was strung up on the skyscraper.
Drugs. All right.
Exactly, and then his story holds up. That's why it has to be Batman, because they can. It's legit. You want to go to Act 2?
Okay.
Act 2! You like how I waited?
Ow.
Sorry. Buckle up, because we're taking a ride. In an unprecedented event, Alfred leaves Bruce because of how he's acting. He's taking control of his own path while Bruce self-destructs physically and mentally, leaving him to open his own doors. And to add insult to injury, the stock crash causes him to lose literally every penny to his name. But he does get to keep the house. Meanwhile, Bane is assembling his own board of trustees or something within Wayne Enterprises after killing Daggett. Miranda Tate is shown her clean energy machine that will later be turned into a bomb. But before we get a bomb, we get a bone because Tate and Bruce are going at each other in a random sexual rebound encounter because when you're a billionaire who's just gone poor, you still have sex to fall back on, proving that even the rich don't go poor like the rest of us. Batman sets up a meeting with Catwoman to get him to Bane. Upon meeting Bane, he skips the introduction and goes right to the face punch while Bane just takes it in his venom-fueled body. He overpowers Batman and then shows him that he's taken his military toys to create an army to destroy Gotham. And then he breaks Batman's back. And if that's not bad enough, he takes Bruce to the Hell Prison to watch his plan on TV while he suffers with pain. Fast forward to Gotham. Bane blows up all the bridges in the Gotham NFL team's stadium and then introduces the bomb and kills Dr. Pavel. He releases criminals to ravish Gotham and give control back to the people, and he outs Gordon by reading his letter to the city about how he was going to resign and how Harvey was the real villain, not Batman. John Blake saves Gordon from the hospital.
Good.
That's
Can
it.
I just?
That's it.
I want to ask.
That's it?
Where are you confirming Bane's mask, the Venom thing?
I think
Comics.
he's just.
Well, I
saying
know that, but like
They mention it.
No, they don't.
They mentioned that it would be painful for him if it was taken.
It's not venom. It's medication, I'm assuming.
It's called venom in the comics. That's what I'm referring to it as.
Okay, fuck face.
That's good.
Never mind.
Okay. Going off the beginning of this.
Did you catch the nod?
No, I didn't.
Fox's nod where he's like, you're answering your own doors now?
Yes, I did, and I thought of you exactly when that happened.
Me too. I almost called you.
Thinking about that Batman and Robin
I almost
thing.
called you. I really almost called you.
I laughed out loud. I LOL.
That's good.
But I love that scene at the football field. Arguably the biggest moment in that.
Let me just talk about it real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me just talk about it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll get my sports corner right out of the way here. Did you know that is the Pittsburgh Steelers team? Like, there's Ben Roethlisberger, he's the quarterback, and then Hines Ward, which brings me to my sports corner hybrid character spotlight. You want to hear it? Okay, so Hines Ward. He's the guy that returns the kick. The kickoff. Okay, sorry. Here, let me back up for you guys. At the start of a football game, they do a kickoff.
Yeah,
and there's a guy that returns
we know
it.
that much.
And then after every score, they kick. Okay, so Hines Ward. The most unrealistic thing about this movie is having Hines Ward, former NFL wide receiver, be the kick returner. He would never be the kick returner because he is the number one wide receiver. They wouldn't risk injury by having him return kicks. They just wouldn't. He also wasn't a speed burner. He had good speed, but not kick return speed. But enough about what he can't do. Hines Ward was drafted in the third round of the 1998 NFL Draft. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, one-time Super Bowl MVP, and a Dancing with the Stars champion. He was also a member of the Steelers team that got beat by my Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl in 2010. Thank you very much. Moving on to his off-the-field accolades. Many people don't know this, but Hines moonlit as a crime-fighting vigilante himself. And not only did he get the attention of the local criminals, but he started to make quite the headlines in the far reaches of space. A corporation of heroic individuals recruited him to be a member of their team due to his commitment to football. He was always too busy to take on an even bigger role in the world, let alone the entire galaxy. But upon his retirement in 2011, his schedule opened up. I know he has 2 Super Bowl rings, but he's got 8 more fingers. And when the time came to open up his secret trophy case, he decided to put it on, the other ring, and make his vows to becoming a protector of worlds. In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape his sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware his power. Green Lantern. And Hines Ward is a Green Lantern.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds is on the line.
Is he? Because Hines Ward.
Oh wait, he's right behind you with a gun.
Mm-hmm. He's got a gun in my
his room. We'll go get it. We'll do it together. Yeah. It'll be fun.
No, but Hines Ward is a receiver. He never returned kicks. He was not a kick returner. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's not a real film.
And the other... This is a fake film? You watched it. I physically have it. It's real. But they are modeled after the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they even have, like, the terrible towels. They're waving the yellow towels. Pittsburgh Steelers fans have terrible towels. They wave them. But,
wow.
Also, how do you... As he's returning the kick, how does he not hear the field?
Because it's the adrenaline, man. He's about to win the game.
No, he's not. That's the start of the game.
Yeah, I know. Because he's got the coach in his ear.
No, that's illegal.
Coach, no, he's got Bill Belichick in his ear.
Bill Belichick.
I know.
It's
I'm
Mike
just
Tomlin.
making a joke.
That's a funny joke. Did the guy on the other side look like Matthew Stafford to you?
This is what happened.
I'm asking. When they show the opposing team, he looks like Matthew Stafford.
I don't know. Maybe it was.
This is what happens when you have 2 guys on the podcast that don't watch sports.
I watch it a little bit.
No, but Ben is there. A couple other players, and then Hines
all
Ward.
of his heroes.
They're not my heroes. I don't like the Steelers.
Why don't you just put a fucking cape on them, all right?
Why would I do that? They're football players.
Anyway, you just made one the Green Lantern.
Guys.
Yes, because he's Hines Ward. I respect him.
Your sports corner was great.
Thank you.
Sports corner character spotlight was great.
All right, let's go back to the top of the
The top. I love that scene at the football field. Okay. Because...
Thank you.
In a roundabout way,
no.
yes.
No, before I let you I pass the baton so you could tell the story.
Stick!
Here.
Before
give
I
it
let
back,
you
give it back,
talk.
give it back. Okay, I got
Stick.
it. You be quiet. I got the stick. Anyway. Okay.
Sounds like my Saturday night. I'm not Alright, nothing. I just spilled water down my... actually choking. Thank you for asking.
You're okay.
Yes, I am.
So you guys got your water. You're all set. In this part of the movie...
You know who else drinks water? Football players. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to
Sucks, doesn't it, Christian?
It does. Okay.
Back to you, fuckers.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
All right, let's get serious.
Getting to the point. I like the scene, and this is getting to a serious thing here, because it's showing, again, Bane's cunning along with his muscle. This is where you can see, and he's playing games with Gotham's people. You see him, he's playing like a Joker-like game with the citizens of Gotham, saying,
This bomb is armed. This bomb is mobile. And the identity of the triggerman is a mystery. For one of you holds the detonator. Now we come here not as conquerors, but as liberators to return control of this city to the people. And at the first sign of interference from the outside world, or from those people attempting to flee, this anonymous Gothamite, this unsung hero, will trigger the bomb. But now martial law is in effect. Return to your homes. Hold your families close. And wait. Tomorrow you claim what is rightfully yours.
he's playing games again, like the fairy scene. And that's why I like that
sooner.
He's taking, because Bane is an excommunicated member of the League of Shadows, and he's doing this Joker-esque sort of social experiment mind game. It's very, it goes back to that theme of Nolan maybe thinking about adding elements from both of his previous two films in one final culminating act of his trilogy. And that also another amazing thing is Bane, Joker, he was taking over the city for himself, because he's, you know what he said? It's my city. Like, I have control. Like, in a matter of hours, I'll have control over the whole city.
He just did it strictly for experimental sake.
Yeah, Joker.
Joan of Arc.
Joker did it for selfish reasons. Right. Bane is doing it for the people.
Like liberation.
Yes.
Give it back to you.
It's the opposite. I like that parallel theme there, that ring theory sort of idea. That's really cool. And I love just the cinematography, the big IMAX. I didn't really recognize the IMAX shots, but it is an IMAX shot of just the whole city, and then you just get these of the bridges blowing up.
IMAX.
Yeah.
You're talking about the end of the act, which is fine. But we'll jump back.
That's because exactly.
Yeah.
I just wanted
it's a big moment.
Yes.
No, it's a big moment.
I love the cinematography of it.
I love the
cool.
cinematography for this entire film. I thought it was just really great.
It buys into that disaster epic a theme of having those shots with. It almost looks like live footage of a terrorist attack or something.
Right.
Of the bridges blowing up. Well, it looks realistic.
Yeah, it does. And everything in this movie, the effects wise,
it's good.
They're really good.
It's good. And
I bet a lot of it's practical. Well, he's big on practical, but I'm saying that's why they're so good. Touch that.
Stop saying touch.
No, not that. The computer.
Another thing I noticed too is in this movie, this, like I said, kind of in the last act, the stakes are even higher. Like, especially with what happens in this act, Batman gets his butt kicked, gets his face smashed in, which was kind of brutal to see, like his head getting smashed in a, what is that, cement, and Bane's just punching his face as hard as he can. Yeah, that would have kind of punched through his skull.
Too bad that one wasn't made out of graphite, huh?
Yeah. But why doesn't he have a big dent in his face?
Because Harvey Dent's dead.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
When Harvey, speaking of Hardy, it was
Hardy.
Hardy hard.
That's the porno version.
When Harvey Dent, when Bane's holding up his picture, did you notice how he ripped it? Right down the middle.
Oh man.
Two-Face, right down the middle.
I didn't notice that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah. The situation in Gotham switched in a blink of an instant. There you go.
Such a powerful monologue by Bane, too. Standing on the tumbler.
We take Gotham from the corrupt, the rich, the oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity, and we give it back to you, the people. Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please. But start by storming Blackgate and freeing the oppressed! Step forward those who would serve, for an army will be raised. The powerful will be ripped from their decadent nests and cast out into the cold world that we know and endure. Courts will be convened. Spoils will be enjoyed. Blood will be shed. The police will survive as they learn to serve true justice. This great city, it will endure. Gotham will survive.
I feel like Bane is just a walking monologue.
Yeah.
Every time he speaks, I love what he says. Gets my giblets all jingly.
Yeah. It goes, again, leaning very, very heavily, kind of, I don't know if I want to say too heavily because it's an issue I care about, but just the haves and have-nots, the rich and the poor, like we're going to eat the rich. It's like, this is your time.
Look at you.
Just
Owner knows. I called you that earlier. It's universal.
Just the theme there is...
Yeah, no, it's a good theme.
They get into it at the end of this act.
Little quick to be having sex, don't you think?
Wow.
Bruce and Miranda. What, they've known each other for like a day?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, they actually do.
Like a day?
Yeah.
A little foreshadow with the scar on her back, too. Showing that maybe she was like a warrior or something.
I didn't notice that either. I was up and about like making food or something. Or using the bathroom.
Of shadows, and I've heard that the sunrise of good destiny.
Right?
Why are you bumping the mic? That would have been perfect.
It would have been, but it wasn't.
But no, the thing about Harvey's picture is cool. But no, what's the thing about Miranda Tate? That scene with Bruce can't get into his own house because he doesn't have a key. Don't you have a key? I never needed one.
That was not your best. Try it again.
No. I never needed one.
That was not as great.
Alfred left. I drove him away. Literally, I drove him to the airport. but
no, another funny thing, real quick. Alfred leaves. You know he leaves because he said he's leaving, right?
Yeah.
And then he hears a knock on his door, and as he's going down, he goes, "Alfred." Like, dude, he left. He said he was leaving. He's gone, and he calls for him.
No, he didn't take him seriously. He's like, Alfred,
he didn't say, Alfred, get the fuck out of here.
He did not say that, no.
He said goodbye, Alfred, the day before.
He did, but then he calls for him the next day, like, wait. Yeah. Oh, did he think he was coming back?
He thought he was coming back.
Yeah.
He didn't think Alfred was going to be was going to take his word seriously. And that scene is actually pretty well done, I will say.
well acted.
I was watching it intently.
Me too. I was trying to hear and listen.
Well, is that a dig? But no.
No.
Okay. No, the scene between Alfred and him, which we start, this is what gets the act start rolling, which we're going back there. But the thing about Alfred now switching gears with his ideas for what he wants Bruce to do now, or how he's wanted Bruce to live since Batman Begins, doesn't really add up to me. Because he didn't say, to our knowledge, he didn't say or express any of these ideas during The Dark Knight, when he was kind of encouraging him, like, know your limits. And
right.
And would you be taking the bet pod, sir?
People change.
Well, I know, but in the 8 years, maybe he has gotten used to Bruce not
being a couch
doing
potato.
what he said. But in here, no. Here's the thing with that too, is that if he was fed up with Bruce just being a limp log, if he's upset with Bruce basically being a bump on a log, there you go. Why hasn't he said this in the past 8 years?
That's better than
or
pushing
the
him
7 years.
to the point of the brink. That's
Okay, get out. Get out. Just all you sycophants.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
How dare you use Rachel against me? Okay.
He does, and like, she didn't pick you.
And you
chose Harvey Dent.
And that's where you guys talked about in the last episode, where the letter comes back into play. But I don't like. It's kind of jarring, given the time. Not given the time difference, but just given the character that Alfred was in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. It's a little inconsistent with how he is in this movie. Because he says in this one, he wanted Bruce to never come back.
Remember when you left Gotham? Before all this, before Batman, you were gone 7 years. 7 years I waited, hoping that you wouldn't come back. Every year, I took a holiday. I went to Florence. There's this cafe on the banks of the Arno. Every fine evening, I'd sit there and order a Fernet Branca. I had this fantasy that I would look across the tables and I'd see you there with a wife, maybe a couple of kids. You wouldn't say anything to me, nor me to you. But we both know that you'd made it, that you were happy. I never wanted you to come back to Gotham. I always knew there was nothing here for you except pain and tragedy. And I wanted something more for you than that. I still do.
On the banks of the Arlo. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I kind of felt for Alfred, too. Just Michael Caine's acting.
He's great in this movie.
It's great. Just not even talking.
He's really good.
But just the visual, you kind of feel for Alfred. Like, you feel bad for him through his movements and his mannerisms. You feel bad that he's at a table sitting by himself a little bit.
I don't. He chose that.
Well, I know, but just the mannerisms, like, I don't know. It just kind of got me.
Time.
And then his scene with Bruce is emotional, but it just doesn't jive with a little bit with how he was behaving in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
I swore to them I would protect you, and I haven't.
Yes, but that's the thing, too. Now, all of a sudden, he doesn't want him to be Batman.
Well, now that he hasn't
in the last
been for 8 years.
Well, I get that, but that happened all off screen, in between periods, between the last movie and this movie. So the characters changed in between. You can make the same argument for Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. But we won't get into that. I know Joel... The
Sacred Jedi text! You mean The Last Jedi referring to the best Star Wars movie in the...
Yeah,
saga?
that one.
Okay,
That
gotcha.
one. Made by...
Just want to make sure. But anyway, welcome back to Batman.
Welcome to Batman? Okay. I get that. They're trying to do the same thing in this movie, I think. But
way better. Right, Joel? Way better?
In this movie?
It's like the last
just
Batman.
having the stuff occur off screen and having Alfred change like this.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you do kind of get the sense, now that I think of it, that he does, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, but he kind of does, you get that sense that, Alfred feels that, you've been doing so well not being Batman.
He enjoyed having him around.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm all jumbled up. He hasn't been himself since he framed Batman for Harvey Dent's murder. I mean, we're supposed to be told that he's been a hermit for 8 years. I don't think he was for 8 years. I think maybe for the last few months or something.
Yeah.
No, I think.
But he was active in the fusion project that they were working on. He dumped all his money into that, lost all of his money. Hmm. We learn in this act that Bruce lost his company. Right?
Yep.
Because the fingerprints, that makes the fingerprint thing make sense. And that makes the stock exchange make sense, because Bane needed to go there to get the fingerprints to give to Taggett. Not Daggett, it's Taggett, isn't it?
It's Daggett.
Daggett. Bag and Daggett. Whatever.
Okay, Dr.
Christian,
Seuss.
are you tired? Well, you got Baggett and then that man over there, and they're fighting. And then Dane comes along, and he's just a guy. He's like, "Hey, Dane," and then he breaks Batman's ankle. We'll say he's just kind of an average guy. So you got Dane, that man, and then Baggett over here. And then you just have Kitten Girl. So it's a whole thing. You have Kitten Girl.
Okay. Now,
where were we going? I'm just picturing this guy. It's just really big. His name's
Dane?
Yeah, like his name is Dane. Like, that's Dane's coming.
But anyway, back to the point.
Right.
We got really sidetracked.
As we tend to do.
Which was that why, I know I said this before, why is Michael Caine Alfred trying to get him? Why is he trying to
get... auditioned and then he was the best choice that Christopher Nolan thought. So I guess... but he's not anymore.
That is quite,
because they cast Andy Serkis.
Quite hilarious.
And then Jeremy Irons was the best Alfred.
But no, shots fired. But no, I wish we knew how long Bruce has been incapacitated or having maids bring stuff up to his room or
8
having
years,
Alfred do it. Has he been like this for 8 years?
So.
Then why hasn't Alfred confronted him before now?
How do we know he hasn't?
Because he says he's sick and tired. He basically says he's sick and tired of him being like this.
So now you're trying to set me up with a jewel thief?
At this point, I'd set you up with a chimpanzee if it brought you back to the world.
There's nothing out there for me.
And that's the problem. You hung up your cape and your cowl, but you didn't move on. You never went to find a life, to find someone.
Alfred, I did find someone.
I know, and you lost them, but that's all part of living, sir. But you're not living, you're just waiting, hoping for things to go bad again.
Is this the first time that he said that to him or really got into him with it in 8 years?
Maybe.
8 years is a long time to wait.
Not if you're really in love.
But it could happen. It does happen. Yep. But I don't know. I'm getting off the Alfred thing because I'm tired of it.
You want to get off Alfred onto Bane? Or Dane, as he shall now be known?
No. But no.
No, what?
Backwards to the original point about Miranda and Bruce banging it up in the fire pit.
Or in the fire pit?
In the Gryffindor common room, excuse me.
Yeah.
But no, that scene, very important later on.
It is.
I noticed it immediately, and I gasped when I watched it.
I gapped.
Well, I gasped when Glenda Tate just kind of comes in and her and Bill Wayne, they just kind of go at it real quick, and Bill Wayne goes to fight Dane with Kitty Girl, and it's a whole thing.
Oh man,
Melinda Pyle comes along too. Says Kyle.
No. Okay, but anyway.
Okay.
Ring theory here. Later on, we find out the truth behind Miranda, and her relationship with a certain person that we know of from these 3 films.
Dane.
And this, keep in mind, Miranda, Bruce, and the fire, talking, having intimate conversation and physical activity next to the fire. Except
It's called sex.
Except we don't see intimate activity between Bruce and this other character that I'm talking about. No, they do not.
They do kiss.
I think you know who I'm talking about.
Because that wasn't picked up on the mic.
Threesome.
No.
Oh, no.
Off mic,
What
off record.
are we doing right now?
What are we doing? Keep
still
this in the episode, by the way.
Are we still talking about Batman?
I'm talking
Okay.
about the
All right.
mirrored parallel relationship between the scene with Miranda, Bruce, in the fireplace, and the scene in Batman Begins with Ducard, Bruce, and the fire. Around the fire in the Arctic.
Maybe you should have led with that.
Oh, yeah. But I get you now.
No,
I get
yes,
you now.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why I was keeping that hidden. Basically, just remember the congruity between these two.
Congruity.
I can't talk.
Last
Leave him
week,
alone. He's already dead.
The congruity. Please remember the congruity between these two scenes and why it matters because of who Miranda is.
And then-
please. We're not going to reveal it now because
we'll
we don't know
reveal it when
yet.
we reach the point of the
Yes,
book, though.
exactly. Okay.
Yes. When we reach the brink of
Somebody
action.
please start talking and take the mic.
Christian, we're being mean, and I just want to apologize.
No.
I
You
don't.
got to learn to laugh at yourself.
You do. I don't apologize.
You can't. Okay.
Okay. But so then after,
You're pathetic.
let's just skip to the best scene in the movie. When is it? It
The
starts
football
a little,
stadium?
No, it
Just skip to the end.
It starts a little awkward when, like, Catwoman. When they're going to Bane, that shot of the gun firing, it's like that strobe effect as Batman's getting closer to the guy. That's the best shot of the whole film.
I
Love that.
I didn't really think it was
really cool. It's cool.
Well, like I said,
It's really cool.
I went up to use the restroom and at this part, and I
Good.
made something to eat. and
pause it?
during the scene where they were sneaking up, Catwoman and Batman,
Yeah.
and going into the fight with Bane, I wasn't really watching that whole thing. But I did stop doing what I was doing to watch the fight.
As you should. It's pay-per-view. But is
That's a good
it
analogy.
awkward? Like, is that all he wanted? He just wanted to go there to fight him, Batman?
Well,
'Cause
he
they don't
went there
really
to
talk. He goes,
stop him.
and then he just starts in, and it's awkward. There's no music,
No,
which is
and then
fine.
you get the when he goes to fight him.
It's so
When he-
weird, and he's just punching
Hold up.
him and just going crazy.
I
and
have
Bane's
something
like,
to add.
"You're small." Yeah.
Which is rare. No. He said, "Oh, there's no music." That was done way intentionally.
Oh no, I like it.
Please do. Please
No, I
explain,
know. Yeah,
really.
but basically, Christopher Nolan's idea with that is like he wanted to bring out the performance of the. I guess this goes along with his ideas on dialogue and sound mixing, but he wanted to bring out the performance. He wanted to make it more of the actor's performance, and didn't want to lose that all the nuance of the grunts and the whatever to the music.
Smart move.
I like that.
So-
And you guys know I speak about it all the time.
Yeah.
I did it in the last episode. I love it when they do that. Other times it's effective and awesome when you have a backtrack, but sometimes you just let the silence and just the sound design
Let the
take
grunts
over.
Go.
And
And if you listen to Bane, it's like, holy hell. He makes some strange ones, you know? He just like
Well,
snarl.
because it's mask.
I know, but it sounds like
Well-
a beast snarling almost.
If a guy like Bane, big and bad, is okay with wearing a mask, y'all should be too. Okay, let's get through this together. But Bane.
Yeah. Hashtag
no,
wear a
and
mask.
sorry, Dane.
Oh yeah, sorry, Dane
Yeah.
Cook.
I was saying that the
Is-
entire time. I just didn't say it until you just said it. So thank you for doing that.
Is he still alive?
I love all. Yeah, he just
Yes.
He just hosted a live
I don't-
table read.
I don't care.
A Facebook
I
live
don't
table
care.
read of Fast Times at
I don't
Ridgemont High
care.
with Shia LaBeouf and Matthew McConaughey and Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston,
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Hey,
I care about maybe
I can
one of those people,
I can fix every part of this car.
and I'll keep it a mystery.
I don't know what that is.
That was Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
Dude, he was out of zone. He's a method actor even in this table. Anyway.
Don't let your dreams become dreams.
Bane. Just take, like, it shows his superiority. Superiority?
Well, you? Oh.
The cool thing is, you get a little bit of the Bane monologuing during this as well. It's actually pretty cool because it references both of their training by the lead.
Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows.
He says the exact same shit that Ra's al Ghul says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
It's powerful tools to the
Yeah.
But we are initiated.
And then
that was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. But wait, it kind of, when he said, when you betrayed us, did he kind of sound like
Sorry,
Vader
we're losing
right
your
there?
signal.
Didn't he sound like, he sounded like Vader to me, just the way he said, you betrayed us. Like, he sounded like Vader.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you betrayed us.
Vader. Bane.
Batman doesn't say a single word, really. And
no,
he doesn't really speak during this.
He does
it's mostly
toward the
Bane.
end when he's like, "Okay, psychopath. Psychopath."
And you want to talk about, okay, this is where like
he talks about psychopaths.
The good choreography comes in because Bane does this freaking like spin around punch down thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That Superman punch is what it's called in the biz.
Okay.
So
I need to watch this scene
Easter
again and
egg,
pay more
Superman.
attention to it.
Okay,
No.
I guess so.
I need to watch the scene again.
It's a cool fight scene. Everything that Bane says is like fun.
I
love the water on his suit, Batman's suit.
Yes, and I have stuff now that we're in Bane's lair.
It's actually not his lair. It's Bruce's lair, kind of.
Well, fine, but
Well,
they
ooh.
refer to it as Bane's lair in the book. So
Yes. Go ahead.
So I'm going to talk about the aesthetic of Bane's lair too, because they did this. Obviously, they built this as a set. This is not actually underground, and so, but they built it all to kind of give it to jar the viewer and like make you uncomfortable. The lighting, certain lighting in certain areas, and
harsh.
Harsh lighting, and they gave it an industrial look, and so this is. They're like, okay, we have the Batcave for Batman, and we needed Bane to have his own version of the Batcave.
I was just about to say that.
They reflect their own characters is basically what they were going for.
Bane, industrial, harsh.
Yeah.
Military.
Bruce, Batman is organic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably a vegan.
And that kind of goes into their characters too, because Bane was made. Bane was he was
right.
Everything
created.
special about him is in a mask.
Bruce turned himself into Batman kind of organically, I guess you could argue.
Yeah.
Bane was kind of forced into who he was by his circumstance. And that's the direct dichotomy between Bruce being a man of privilege, which we hear later on when he's in the pit. The difference between... Yeah.
I wasn't in the pit.
The difference between Bruce and Bane are privilege versus
having to work
destitution.
for it. Having to work for it.
And also one more thing is like they wanted the symbolism of a menace that was lurking below, that was slowly.
Yeah.
They wanted that to bring that into the story as of being outright with it right away,
What is the bat's natural predator?
I am not.
Look it up. Let's see.
Jack Hanna or Steve Irwin. Or
What?
anybody
Okay. No one
I don't know.
expects you to be.
Natural enemy.
Because I wonder if there's an allusion to that.
Bats have few natural predators. Disease is one of the biggest threats. So venom, disease. Owls, hawks, and snakes eat bats, but that's nothing compared to the millions of bats dying from white nose syndrome.
White noise.
White nose syndrome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know how to read, Christian. Thank you very much. Just because you don't doesn't mean
I know how to read.
Brought to you by.
I know how to read congruation.
What are you saying?
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Now he's trying to make it into a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. But you could argue We were talking about the natural
with
predators.
yourself.
No, I had a thing about that. The natural
Bane
predator.
is like an owl.
No,
I don't. I mean, he's a gorilla. He's brutal. Bats are smaller.
A gorilla could fuck up a bat.
Yeah, like it's just this like versus the.
Okay. No, I had something on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. So
the teeth, the tongue, the lips.
He said the line though.
I will show you where I have made my home whilst preparing to bring justice. Then I will break you.
Gives me chills every time because he says that in the comics. I think he says it in some animated stuff too.
Oh, wait a minute. I had it. I just got it. I'm sorry, Joel. No,
you're not.
Bane could be... No, the League. The League of Shadows. The League of Shadows could be comparable to a snake.
Owls.
Snakes or owls or the natural predators of bats because they're in the shadows. They're sneaky.
What's that
They
one
swoop down and get them.
What's that one comic? The
I have it right
owl.
here.
The owl comics.
Oh, not that.
Or the show. What's that storyline?
Court of Owls?
Yeah,
that's got nothing to do with this.
Okay, cool.
This is inspired by the Nightfall comic. Nightfall with a K, like night.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
so.
we got
That
it.
is the one where.
What an idiot.
That is the one where Bane bests
Breaks his
Batman.
back?
Yeah.
Breaks his back?
Yes.
Wait, yeah, I said back.
And what is the line he says as he does it?
Ah, yes. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit? Oh, your buddy!
And then he does it.
Breaks his back over his knee like a twig. Like he's picking up sticks with his dad in the backyard and put him in the wheelbarrow.
Kindling.
It's this really. See, look.
Just picturing Batman in half. Yes,
Like from the comics.
I've seen that image before
right
I
there.
saw the movie.
I mean, they took it straight out of there, except
fans loved that,
his
I bet.
back didn't bend like that because he's a real person.
Right.
That would have literally killed him.
Right. The thing that gets me is the way that he punches his head in like that. In the cowl, the face mask just is dented.
Right.
And then he takes it off, and you
rips the
see the
mask
symbolism of the mask being crushed on one side, and he tosses it in the water, right?
Yeah, like he's just yesterday's trash.
Oh, and we get a really nice transition. I don't think it's a real visual transition, maybe, but just the location transition from wet, industrial, cold lair of Bane to the dry pit in the desert, where he's kind of in the same place. You know? And that's an interesting aspect.
Ooh. And so now, okay, so as Bane eventually got his way, well, he got taken out of it, but he made his way out of that hole in one way or another. Now it's kind of like there's a symbolism of, okay, now he's underneath Gotham and he's waiting for his opportunity to rise up and
strike.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about that element yet, where this is another element from Batman Begins, the League of Shadows re-emerging.
Yeah.
And full circle ring theory right there. You're bringing that element back from the very beginning of Batman Begins. And at this time, this is a great thing about Nolan combining those two aspects, the realism of the Dark Knight versus the comic bookiness, the more so comic bookiness of Batman Begins with the theme of the microwave emitter, whatever. It's like a comic book story.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie takes the realism of the Dark Knight and adds in that comic book element of the League of Shadows re-emerging, and there's a bomb.
With a big-ass bomb.
Yeah, there's a nuclear bomb, and Batman's got to say that sort of idea. Except it fits within the more realistic trajectory that the series took. But I really like that. That bringing those elements back in. And it's he brings them back in but raises the stakes. And the stakes are even higher now because where are they? They're underneath Wayne Tower. Applied Science Division. All his armory. All his Batmobiles.
Tumblers.
All his tumblers, what have you. Not the bat, though. He hid that.
Yeah.
That, to me, that was like, oh, man. Like, this is serious. Like, This isn't just your average like comic book dastardly deeds. Like this is a terrorist organization.
Yeah, they made him a full-blown terrorist.
Yes,
he is a terrorist.
Yeah, I mean just the visual imagery. The bridge is blowing up. The football stadium.
Speaking of visually, like
trapping the police.
I love how they have like the kids singing the national anthem.
Oh yeah,
while all this is going on, like it's so chilling. How it's just this
calm before the storm.
Yeah,
and the storm is coming, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah. And you're going to want to batten down the hatches, I tell you.
And I do like that little scene between Selena and Bruce at the charity ball. Well, Miranda's charity ball. I do like that dialogue.
It's a brazen costume for a cat burglar.
Yeah? Who are you pretending to be?
Bruce Wayne, eccentric billionaire. Who's your date?
His wife's in Ibiza. She left her diamonds behind, though. Worried they might get stolen.
It's pronounced Ibiza. You wouldn't want any of these folks realizing you're a crook, not a social climber.
You think I care what anyone in this room thinks of me?
I doubt you care what anyone in any room thinks of you.
Don't condescend, Mr. Wayne. You don't know a thing about me.
Well, Selena Kyle, I know you came here from your walk up in Old Town, a modest place for a master jewel thief, which means that either you're saving for retirement or you're in deep with the wrong people.
You don't get to judge me just because you were born in the master bedroom of Wayne.
Actually, I was born in the Regency, bro.
I started out doing what I had to. Once you've done what you had to, they'll never let you do what you want to.
Start fresh.
There's no fresh start in today's world. Any 12-year-old with a cell phone could find out what you did.
And I like her mask. It's like Catwoman.
I mean, it reminded me of Casino Royale.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Get you.
They're assuming things about each other, just like Vesper and James were on the train. And they're like, oh, well, you went to college, blah, 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 and did this and that. Oh, well, you don't think I know much about you? It was kind of that similar back and forth vibe. Yep. And it's got that romantic twinge to it, but I liked her talking about the difference between the rich and the poor. And there's a storm coming. There's going to be a reckoning. Gotham's reckoning. You keep seeing that thematic material coming in.
So many good lines in this movie.
And it does make me think about our current situation in this country. Mm-hmm. Where if people don't get their act together and start to realize some things, there is going to be a reckoning. And you're seeing it already.
Yeah, he's not as menacing as Bane, though.
No.
But
that stuff interests me, and
I could take him.
That's what. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the contents of the documentary I looked into today too much. I want to save that for the next episode.
Okay.
But there's a lot of great stuff in this act,
including Bane's jacket. Dude, that jacket, like that aviator
that is a cool jacket, man.
I want that jacket. And there's how he breaks the neck. Like, that's so cool. It's cool how it's edited.
Oh, the guy?
How you kind of hear
wide
the mic
shot?
feedback. Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
I think the mic feedback was a little too much when he threw it on the ground.
I don't. I like it. I know you're audio junkie, but it's aesthetically pleasing.
It was great.
It was great. And then he is transported to the prison, which is we don't know where. And I wish we did.
Oh, the new prison?
What if it's
talking
just
about
in
Bruce?
Gotham? Yeah, he takes him to the prison.
Right.
To the whole prison.
And we learned about the backstory of the pit in the last act, right?
We learned more about it.
Well, because Alfred explains
there was a child.
Bane's history. Yeah. And there was a child come out.
And how it's shot and edited to make you think, oh, that's Bane. That's Bane.
Right.
No hair.
We think
little boy. But
yes. Yes.
But that's more in this.
They fooled me.
That's more in this. Oh, me too.
Right. They fooled me until I realized it. And I guess it wasn't one of those instances where they gave it away too soon.
No,
because they tricked
even
me.
Hint, really,
right.
At it.
I mean, I don't mean
unless you know the actress.
No, I did not know the actress.
Joey King.
So
Joey King. But
I was fooled.
Me too. Me too. Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice.
You can't get fooled again.
That was really, really good. But
that's okay.
What other stuff in this second act do we want to talk about? We don't talk about Blake that much. We got to focus on him.
because he's just being a good cop. and helping Gordon. He becomes a detective in this, which kind of a foreshadow for what his future might hold.
I hate to say it, but we went right past his scene with Bruce in the first act.
Oh yeah, he talks to him and
he's seeking for information about Harvey Dent's murder.
Yeah,
because he knows
that it's Batman's Bruce Wayne.
Listen to Jeannie, dear. Jeannie knows. You've got to get your mind off this incessant waiting.
It's from Aladdin, King of Thieves. Robin Williams.
Genie
turns into Mrs. Doubtfire in that movie.
Oh, that's cool. I kind of want to watch it now.
It is cool.
Do you want to watch it? Maybe we'll do the Aladdin.
Seen it.
Maybe we'll do the Aladdin franchise.
Yeah, seen it.
No, it's good. Blake, John, I like him.
I went into the movie thinking
he's a good cop
because I had
good sidekick.
I had an irrational, kind of an irrational negative opinion of Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Why?
Maybe love it. Maybe it's because of The Last Jedi, huh?
He didn't love it. He's not in
Who did he play in The Last Jedi?
I told him not to park there.
They can't park there.
And that to me,
just went on parking and went into the casino.
I think that's the best part of that movie.
There's the side
possibly the whole franchise.
You should shove your microphone up.
No.
We just love messing with Joel because we know how much he doesn't like that film.
I turned around on that movie.
No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt does a really good performance, and you see the classic when he's talking to Bruce in Wayne Manor. He's kind of exposing him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get the tracking shot going in on him as he's going through his story, which is a technique that when someone's giving an intimate monologue, you bring him closer. And that's what you see happen also in cool cinematic technique in Selena Kyle and Bruce's dance. I think at first you get a wide shot, and then you see the camera kind of get up and close, and it just that must have been a bitch to edit. Just keeping the 180-degree rule intact.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
You know, but it's just I like Blake.
Yeah,
I would have enjoyed watching him.
He's doing way more detective work than Batman ever did in these movies.
Yeah, that's true.
But it foreshadows kind of what he becomes. Detective.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. We'll get to that next.
Hey, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Far from the tree. And they park there.
Fortune cookie.
Lesson number 1.
No. And, another thing that hints. Another thing that hints is when Blake catches wind of those guys, the cement truck, who are blocking the exits at the stock exchange, so that Bane can escape. They're forming an escape route, but they're faking it.
They're fake.
I can't talk.
Rare form, Christian.
But he confronts him, shoots him, kills him, and you see him like look at the gun and toss it.
Oh yeah, and then he does stop being a cop at the end of the thing.
Yeah.
So. Well, detective.
I really like the scene with Bruce because it sets up that, we know who he's destined to become. You're forming that connection with Bruce and how they're kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
Both their fathers were murdered.
John Blake is similar to
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
Yeah, which is cool.
Well, who's Tim Drake?
He's the second Robin.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa. Anyway, John Blake.
I
didn't catch that. I didn't catch Drake. I didn't catch that, but that's cool. But he's given great performance in the movie.
Helping Gordon.
He's given a great performance.
He escapes with Gordon because they want to kill him.
That was a good scene too, and you actually care about what happens to Gordon.
You do.
Like I'm like, oh shit! Like Gordon's in the hospital. All the lights are shutting down. The bridges are exploding. Gotham is falling.
Play the corners, rookie.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Act 2 there.
That's pretty much.
This could have been another 4-act thing. All 3 of these were like really hard to figure out the acts. Like they could have been 4 acts. But do you want to go to Act 3, Joel? Do you have any more from the Bible? The Bat Bible, sorry.
Okay.
You can't laugh at yourself.
Seeing as what I just said like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, the Bat Bible. But here we go. You want me to go to Act 3, Christian?
Yeah.
All right. Let me wait so nobody's interrupting me. Act 3.
I did kind of do that on purpose. But
Act 3. Yeah.
I'm sorry, just your little.
Gotham is now run by Bane and his army. All Bruce can do is watch from his prison cell until he gets some last-minute motivation from the ghost of Ra's al Ghul. Am I saying that right? We hear the tale of Raz's child escaping the prison, and we are to believe it is Bane. As Bruce's back heals, he attempts and fails to climb out of the prison. Back to Gotham, the police are trapped underground beneath rubble, where apparently they can't grow facial hair. John Blake and a group of militia cops sneak in plain sight around Gotham to try to stop the bomb from detonating. Bane has a whole judicial system set in place, led by Supreme Justice Dr. Crane, who sentences people to death or exile, which we learn are one and the same when Jim Gordon is captured. Back at Hell Prison, Bruce is apparently fully healed and healthy and confident enough to try the escape plan without the safety rope that should have killed him anyway, because when he fell, he already has a broken back. He fell from a long... He's big, and Batman and Bruce can just fall from any distance and he's good. He makes it out and fast travels Skyrim style back to Gotham, where he meets up with Selina and hatches a plan. Because Batman can only operate at night, so during the day it gives him ample time to set up a bat symbol out of gasoline, so when night falls, he can announce his arrival by having Jim light it up. Bane shakes in his boots, but a little shiver runs up his spine. But is still confident that he will win. Thank you. The cop army takes on Bane's army, and Batman finally faces Bane again in a fight that should have been won again by Bane, but Bruce has been doing some push-ups, so he's unstoppable. He weakens Bane by breaking his face mask, and we get the mothership of all twists. Miranda Tate is actually Talia al Ghul, Raz's daughter, and she was the child that escaped, and Bane was her friend zone protector. He cries while she goes to blow up the city, but then he gets blown up by Catwoman on the Batpod. Batman teams with the cops to get the bomb, and somehow without setting it off while hitting it on everything in the city, he gets it far enough away to safely explode and Gotham to be saved. And somehow during that, he is ejected, but nobody saw it, and he was still far enough away to not be blown up himself. He fixed the autopilot. Alfred cries at his funeral with quotes. Catwoman gets her clean slate. Jim Gordon unveils a Batman statue. John Blake reveals his name is, wait for it, Robin, and he gets the keys to the Batcave, setting up a movie we never got. Bruce makes sure his house becomes a home for at-risk kids. Alfred's Paris fantasy comes true as he sees Bruce and Selina having drinks together. It's a lot to unpack, a lot to chew up. And if Bruce had read the comics, he'd know that Ra's al Ghul did not have a son. He had a daughter. So, there you go. Talia al Ghul. Yeah, they hid that very nicely because she never.
They did.
They never did. Like she seems legit like a good guy the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like there's never that shot where it's like, well, what about this? And she's like, yes. What about that? There's nothing revealing it at all.
Right.
And again, I didn't read the comics, so I didn't know Ra's al Ghul had a daughter.
The fireplace scene. Going back to that,
that's Act 2.
We find out who she really is in this act, and it relates to that. That's why I brought it up. Ducard, Talia.
At first, I was like, I wasn't sure if I liked how they handled, because Talia al Ghul is like big.
Badass?
You know what I'm saying? Well, like that's a big deal for me, especially being a fan of the Arkham series. Talia al Ghul is like a huge.
Am I saying that right? Talia al Ghul?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, no, I'm sorry. It's Raish.
It's Talia.
So, yeah. At first, I was like, "Do I like how they're handling this?" I don't know. And I think of random things like, what would a Lazarus Pit plot line looked like?
Ooh,
and you know what I'm saying?
I am aware.
Seems
of
interesting.
That.
You know, but then I kind of backspaced all my notes on. I was like, no, I like it. You know, and I like how they stayed true. They kind of stayed true to the romance between Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul.
Okay,
you know, because that's a big thing. You know, in other stories, they have a child together.
The thing about it is, they've told a fine line between keeping her identity hidden and having almost a Deus Ex Machina sort of thing, where woman behind the curtain sort of thing. It is I, Talia al Ghul, coming from out of nowhere,
and
sort
I'm here
of thing.
to fulfill my father's destiny.
Yeah.
You turn into...
No, I legit feel bad for Bane, though. Like, when he starts to struggle with the face mask thing, he's trying to get it back on, and he does it like, I feel bad for him. I do. I feel bad because I don't like seeing people suffer.
You kind of feel empathy for him, and then
especially learning the real story.
I just got it. When Bane and Batman, when you were going through your summary, when Bane and Batman are fighting, and Batman's like bashing the heck out of his mask, his weak point, essentially. Mm-hmm. It's paralleling Ring Theory when Bane was punching the crap out of his helmet. Mm-hmm. So I really like that kind of visual thematic.
You really see the MMA come out too.
Yeah,
when he just keeps punching the cement wall.
Yeah,
I like that part.
But I gotta say, I really didn't like how Bane went from being the massive villain of the movie to getting blown up by the bat pod and never seen again.
Up. Boom. Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah,
I did not like that.
Not a fan.
He's the big intimidating villain the whole movie, and then Talia steps into the spotlight, and Bane becomes second fiddle and just blown to bits. He was blown away. He was blown away.
Yeah. He's gonna blow.
But
she's gonna blow him up.
You get the idea. You get the idea of Bane almost faking it, like, oh well, now that she's gone, I can beat you up. I'm gonna kill you. Like, I don't know, but I didn't.
Yeah,
it speaks kind of to Bane's character, I guess you could say.
Makes him human.
Where
I like it.
It's almost like, well, what does that say about his relationship to her? Like, because you can assume it. Are they working hand in hand together equally, or is she higher than him now because she is the inheritor of the league?
She's Ra's al Ghul. He understands that she is.
But then he doesn't obey her.
He's her
says
protector.
She tells him not to hurt him.
Don't kill him. Whoa!
And he does it anyway. He doesn't because Catwoman stops him, but he's going to do it anyway.
We both know that I have to kill you now. You'll just have to imagine the fire.
I have to kill you now.
I didn't like that. And I didn't like how he went out. That was just cheap to me.
Yeah, it was.
And then Talia, from that point on, is not a fitting... At that point, it doesn't become like... I guess you could say it doesn't become a physical villain in itself. You're fighting the idea and the philosophy of the League of Shadows, the abstract of that, which is kind of compelling.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
No, I'm realizing.
Go ahead. No,
I just I refuse. No, I just picked up on it now, like talking about it. I guess because I was just so focused on Talia and like how much do I like how she ties into the story that it didn't register with me that Selena just bursting through the doors and blowing Bane away, and then that's it. That's all we like. That didn't register as cheap to me until now. I thought,
especially with
that's
that line,
like shoehorned cop out and like.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, you put Talia...
Kind of like Ivan.
Talia al Ghul in this movie up against Batman physically. I mean, that
would have been awesome.
Yeah, but not as much so as
And
Bane.
It kind of would have been reflection from earlier.
Yeah, but it kind of felt... I guess that part of the movie is like, oh, well, now she's the big bad for the last 10 minutes of the movie.
And even it's not... Her being a villain is not compelling. And then after that, she just turns into an emotionless drone. Basically.
Shoot them. Shoot them all.
Yeah.
And then she's just looking straight ahead, blinkless. Like, why? Like, what is her...
Fight mode.
When she was a child, she went seeking her father during her monologue, which is also a little irritating that there's this big epic fight going on between the cops and the anarchists. And kind of a culmination of what Joker wanted. And...
He was going to be in this.
They're in this room with Batman getting shivved, and she's going off on this monologue and telling her life story. Like, it doesn't really fit.
And the knife, ring theory there, because she talks about the slowness of the knife.
And well, you kind of get a similar idea. The League of Shadows is like the Sith, where they're just waiting and biding their time.
Yeah, but also
and during that waiting, the knife is getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, and the Joker says he uses a knife.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get it now. That's cool. That's cool. Good parallel. Good parallel.
Thanks.
I dig it.
Saw it myself.
But the whole... I was going to say some more about the League. What was I going to say?
I don't think you need to.
No.
I am the League of Shadows, and I've come to
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting. What is the League's motivation here? What is their stated motivation? It's to bring Gotham down because Gotham is corrupt. And what Bane says earlier, they're living on borrowed time. Mm-hmm. So he sees Batman, and I guess maybe Ducard's Phantom, the Phantom Menace, if you will, tells this to... Joel's rolled. But no, doesn't he say something about that along the lines of that? Like, even you...
I'm here to ensure the League of Shadows fulfills its duty to restore balance to civilization. You yourself fought the decadence of Gotham for years. With all your strength, all your resources, all your moral authority. And the only victory you could achieve was a lie. Now you understand. Gotham is beyond saving. And must be allowed to die.
You've only bought Gotham time. Mm-hmm. And you kind of get that idea from what earlier in the movie with corruption eking back in without Batman being around.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How that kind of gave them their motivation. The fact that the corruption overtook Gotham in their eyes. In their
apathy,
eyes,
yeah.
In their eyes, what they're doing is a righteous thing. And they, like you said, he's still on the same mission as Ra's al Ghul, because Ra's al Ghul's like, oh, we cleanse everywhere.
Bane might,
even our buttholes.
Bleach him. Okay, Bane might think that is the real mission, but I think Talia, does she really buy into the League of Shadows doctrine, or is she just doing it as a personal act of vengeance against Batman and Bruce Wayne after what he did to her father?
I think it's that.
And his legacy.
Because
she wants to take down Batman and Bruce and his legacy of Gotham, being Gotham's Dark Knight. I think that's what it deep down is about.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
And that's
which is kind of compelling, but that part isn't explicitly stated, which I love. I love that they didn't come out and say that in a monologue. They kept it to read into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's towards the end here is where they start to stray from true to form as far as Talia is concerned.
Well, and I saw a video where someone made fun of her the way she died.
Dude, it's so bad. Her eyes. It's so bad.
And then also, this
that's
bothered
the best
me.
Take they had.
This bothered me.
Yeah,
the
Marianne?
fact that this big romance or whatever, it's essentially thrown away. She just turns out to be a bitch.
Well, it was forced at the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
it was never meant to last.
Well,
like I lost my money. Bone me.
Being a purist, it's like I want to see because, like I said, in the other. Hey. In the extended universe, in animation and whatever the hell, like Talia and Bruce have a full-blown romantic relationship. They have a fucking kid together.
I didn't know that. Who does the kid become?
Damian Wayne.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that name.
So
I don't know any of that stuff.
We don't. It doesn't really fit
what
into this universe. But I'm saying is
it's only hinted at.
They pretty much killed it off. And it just kind of fell flat at the end there.
They killed it off.
I'm a traitor. I'm going to stab you. And
by killing her off. No opportunity for Damian Wayne to become a
I know that, but I'm saying the fact that...
Almost like we could have used one more
movie. You could have had Damian Wayne show up in a John Blake movie.
I'm just so bitter about all this.
Right.
because this is teed up for this universe to keep going.
It was never meant to, though.
I don't care what it was meant to do. It's what should be done.
This isn't the movie we deserved, but it's the one we... that was stupid. I apologize.
That's not it.
But but you said it was forced, the relationship. Like, we were just out.
I just think
we were just out in the cold rain. And,
expanded upon.
You really need to wear a bra, Miranda. But hey, I can make us up some hot chocolate. We got a fireplace in the other room.
Bottom line is Talia, I think, and
Alfred's gone,
being a weak character. That's all.
Yeah, no, she's great until like the end, and it's kind of like a forced thing. I get what you're saying. I get it, but I don't. How did Bruce get back to Gotham?
It doesn't. I don't think it matters.
He
really.
walked.
It matters.
No. But
Oh no! It's right there. The prison's just right there.
If you don't pay attention, you do get this. You don't catch how much time has passed between him being thrown in the pit and what's going on in Gotham.
A lot of
because
time.
It's been, well, you can tell by the weather, but you don't. They kind of do spell that out too with the 3 months comment. It's kind of chilling. Not because of snow, but because, funny story, Mark, but because Bruce is in the prison, working on his body, because Raz's ghost coming back and threatening him with, my mission will be completed, whatever. He can't stand it. He works out. He's working out doing push-ups, and he sees on the TV and people's bodies hanging from one of the bridges. Leading in and out of Gotham.
He's like, I'm not scared, I'm angry. And that's how he's able to...
More
push-ups! Yeah.
And that's a ring theory.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
See, there's a lot... I do get a kind of a Deathly Hallows vibe, too, from this movie. Don't you?
No.
Because,
not really.
No, the final battle being kind of unconventional.
I think this one is a little better than Deathly Hallows' final battle, but I guess I get
thematically, it's kind of similar, where you have, well, no, you do kind of have a similar idea. You have these grand entrances, Harry in the Deathly Hallows in the Great Hall. He's disguised as one of the students. Yes. You have Batman with the signal on the bridge. That was effing awesome, dude.
Yeah, but why?
That was awesome.
That doesn't make any sense for him to do that.
Because it's a symbol.
Okay, but when did he have time to do that, and how did he do it?
It's theatrics. It doesn't. I don't think
People
it really
could have
matters.
died
I mean,
by him spending hours a day up there painting this thing in gasoline.
I honestly don't think it really matters.
I just think it wasn't logical. It didn't make any sense.
One thing no, it was awesome.
It was cool looking. It just didn't make any sense.
I thought it was awesome. I was like, that is awesome when I saw it.
It is, but it just doesn't make sense. Joel?
What else is awesome is we haven't talked anything about it. The soundtrack. The music.
What are they saying?
That's what I have to say.
Go on it.
What are the lyrics?
Dishi Basra, Dishi Basra.
Gotcha, what's that mean?
Whatever. It's like Moroccan or something.
Means rise, the doctor said.
Rise up. Rise up, yeah. So it's Dishi Basra, Dishi Basra.
They really beat that dead horse.
When I saw
that theme.
That was the one song I bought off the CD, or the album, back when the movie came out.
If you bought the CD...
Well, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Well, I bought the CD, and the one song I bought off that CD...
No, that's Gotham's Reckoning is the name of the track. It's the very first...
Makes sense.
The song from Act 1, the airplane scene.
It's kind of Bane's theme.
It's awesome, dude.
It's cool. It's good.
And it really fits like just the rising action of the sequences, the stakes being raised, all of it. It's just cool. The driving percussion, it got me. It's kind of reminding me of Mad Max a little bit, Fury Road, and how expertly music was used in that film. Oh man, Mad Max takeaway here. When they're doing the chase scene, well, the whole movie's a chase.
Yeah, what are you talking
about? But the ending, when they're neck and neck, and they're blowing gasoline into the engine, and just that the whole the tension. That's the word I'm looking for.
There it is.
The rising tension in that, kind of like with Joker's music, how it kind of rises in
razor blade.
Yes,
string.
It's great. I love it. I love it when they use music to that effect. It might be loud and percussive, but it fits.
Yeah, they match it to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you okay over there?
Yeah, what you got? We got something going on?
I got an itch on my back. I can't reach it.
What
My
did
back
you guys-
is broken. Spinal.
What did you guys think about the big epic fight between cops and robbers, essentially?
It was cool.
I'm not
Could've been
making fun of
better.
it. I thought it was cool.
2020.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. Except in this movie, the cops are the good guys.
Well, cops are good guys. Don't mix up the bad cops with the good ones here.
Right.
The
Right.
thing-
Kind of like not all the riders are the. Okay.
When I watched this movie in 2012, that I misremembered it the whole time. From here to there and back again.
Cops are the
Bilbo,
good guys.
Hobbit's
I
Tale.
need to go on record as saying that. Yes, cops are the good guys. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Like, okay, no,
The thing we're trying to say is there are bad cops out there who are not trained correctly. Cops have too much responsibilities on their shoulders, but there are good, empathetic, quality cops, is what we're saying.
Same as the.
There are bad apples, and what's the expression? A bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Sure.
It should.
Yeah.
What? No, I still eat the other apples if there's one bad one.
Kind
I
of
think
like
the
a
bad
moldy
apple should-
piece of
he
piece of
invents
bread.
his own words.
I
Let him
didn't invent
his own-
that. I didn't
You
invent that.
You can cut off mold off cheese and eat it.
Okay, but original point. We got sidetracked again.
That's what we do. That's what
what
we
did
do.
you guys think about the clash there?
No, it was cool. I liked it, and I liked how within it, Batman and Bane were fighting amongst them. It's not like they had their own arena off to the side.
and it's not like-
it really would have been Deathly Hallows if they did that.
It's
Yeah,
not
and
like
everybody just started watching.
one of these cliched things where everybody else stops, so the two
Right, they keep fighting.
yeah,
two leaders
like it
can
would have been a
battle.
Fight Club sort of
And
thing.
bodies
No.
are just getting tossed at them, and they're just throwing them
But
aside.
the thing about misremembering it, that I remembered it now.
Oh.
But I thought Batman was like walking with them, like leading the charge. I thought in my mind, what do they call that? The Mandela effect? I thought that's what it was. But no, it was awesome seeing the bat fly in, like swoop above and give like all the cop, like the cop army, all of Gotham's cops, that like morale boost, and they're like cheering and fist pumping, and they just charge at each other. That was cool.
Yeah.
Even this domestic warfare, if you will, Call of Duty domestic warfare, but
good one.
Anybody else think
Battlefield
Gotham?
Yeah, there you go. I like it. No,
Hardline is what I'm saying.
It was powerful imagery, is what it was.
That part got me
It was
pumped
really
at the
cool.
theater.
Yeah, it got me pumped, got me hyped. And then Batman finds. Yeah, it was cool.
And then, well,
Good fight scene.
that's why it reminds me of Harry Potter. Because you got all the students and everyone fighting in Hogwarts.
yeah.
It's very
Okay,
unconventional.
yeah.
And
I
then
got
you
you.
got all the citizens of Gotham and the police clashing. And you got Voldemort and Harry fighting each other amongst the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Bane and Bruce fighting each other
Yes, okay.
amongst everybody.
On that
And
point, I can.
You got the big epic comebacks and everything. And they're returning from exile or that sort of theme. I'm done.
What do you think? I thought, but then I thought, when he goes back to the Batcave, who put his suit back? Does he have multiple?
Well, of course he does.
Oh, I think he's got multiple.
So why
He had
wasn't
one
this
in the-
one missed opportunity? This one could have been like a different suit,
Right.
like like the reveal of a new suit, not a cheesy one like Batman and Robin where it's silver, but like a cool, like it has the original Bat logo on it or something. I just thought that would have
Like
been cool.
that would have been cooler if it was the OG Batman Begins suit.
That's what I'm saying.
And it would have been
yeah.
symbolic
But
that
then the
Robin
head-
has to start where Bruce
head.
started.
The head wouldn't have turned like a hybrid, like that symbol, or some. I don't know, or like he had to make a new suit and it was makeshift or something. It looked like Adam West's. 1966 movie.
So we're just going to talk about the end of the film here and how everything gets teed up.
Everything gets teed up at the end.
Yeah.
And then don't forget about
the bat
software update.
Yeah. Okay. Explain this to me.
What?
Yeah.
How did he get out? When did he fix? Okay, that I'm not concerned about. He fixed the autopilot, right? He did.
Oh man. I got thoughts about that. I think we all do.
How did he eject in a spot that was far enough to not get blown up? Where did he land? How did he get out of that spot? And how do they not see him?
Do you want to take this one?
I can give you my take on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want.
There's 2 takes on this. You can take.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on then.
Whoa, the Bat Bible.
I hope this is where you're going, but.
Yes, it is. It's very important.
Because to me, that was just kind of a hole. Either he blew up and survived it, or he ejected somewhere where nobody saw him and landed in the water and swam back.
No, and that bomb was said to have a 6-mile radius.
Yeah. All right. So there's 2 schools of thought on this, and so basically, at the end of the film, either you think he lived or you think he died.
Exactly.
And so the thing is that, okay, so bottom line is he did all this. You're wondering about the software update and whatever to the bat. He did all this. He made all these preparations. He got his estate in order. You know, this was done somewhere along the way. I want to say within the time frame of this movie.
Within the 8 years?
Or within the 8 years or something, because this is recent. Like, he would have to anticipate something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he's that what's happened, you know, they say, 6 months ago by Bruce Wayne. It's not like he survived and, I'm going to go do this software patch or whatever, this update for the, and do this and that. So, but where it gets into 2 different schools of thought. So basically, you have Christian Bale saying, I always thought that, you know, that the ending sequence when Alfred sees him is like, he's really there. You know, this, according to Christian Bale, Batman, you know, he's saying that, he's there. Like, I always thought that he got out and he just retired. And
well, me too.
And then Christopher Nolan is like, well, I always thought it was a dream, more of a daydream where he was just seeing things. And so that's why it's just open-ended. And it's also kind of what makes me more bitter.
So let's say he lived. When did he eject?
Okay, that doesn't make any sense because the bomb has a 6-mile radius. There's no way he would have ejected himself 6 miles like out into the water
because they
or
would
back
have
to
seen
Gotham.
him.
Yeah, I'm just picturing him just flying through the air.
He gave himself up. No, guys, he's right there.
A Wilhelm scream?
Yeah. Or Goofy.
Yeah.
We just see a black spot in the distance fall down. And it was like, wait, he didn't set. He's right there. Guys, that's Bruce. He's right there.
So
but no.
this is my opinion on the matter. Do we each have a preference as to what we think happened to him? Do we think he's survived?
Alive, but that also doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because he's alive. They wouldn't have introduced the autopilot thing. They wouldn't have introduced the autopilot thing if he wasn't alive. Because that hints, he fixed it. So that means he ejected and it autopiloted on.
That's what you can assume.
Yeah, they wouldn't have introduced that.
It's a mystery box tactic.
Okay, JJ.
What do you think, Joel?
I guess I didn't think of it that way. The autopilot carrying the bomb out further or whatever.
There's a reason they introduced that he fixed it.
I just read it at face value.
But
he made all these preparations, and I'm like, he's dead. Like, in my opinion, he might be dead, but then again, you're teeing up a new film, and you know, they could have started with Robin being Batman, which is
begins
confusing.
Again.
You know,
Nightwing begins.
So that's a little unclear. It's like, we're going to tell people it's Robin, but then we're going to make him Batman. I'm like, what? Okay. But
with the autopilot, the way they cut it, it looks as if he's inside the bat.
But it's a close-up on him, so he could be ejected, falling through the air.
Could he be in another tumbler? We don't know.
No.
But the way it's cut, going off the way it's cut, you're led to assume that he's in the bat and he's flying. He's getting ready for the moment.
Well, I guess he could have ejected. Wait. What if the reason it's banging the bomb on everything is because it's the autopilot? It's just going. It's not worrying about what's hitting and stuff. He ejected
I don't know,
a
because
while
you
ago.
See his reactions.
I know, but Yes. That just, I don't like, when did he get out and how did nobody see him?
No, let me tell you,
right before he got up to the sky, so then he's within Gotham and he's hiding and everybody thinks he's there, so that's when he makes his getaway as the bat is making a diversion.
Let me tell you my read on this.
Yes, please.
I would have preferred that Bruce ended up dying at the end of this film.
Wow.
I would have preferred that they ended up not putting in the autopilot scene. I would have preferred that they didn't show him with Alfred. Or the Alfred sequence is fine. The Alfred scene with him and Selina is fine. Because you can take that as a apparition sort of thing. Yeah. Like Alfred seeing what he wants to see.
Old Alfred's just...
He's having too many daiquiris. But I'll tell you why. And this is something that I caught I think earlier today. Or while I was editing the Dark Knight episode. In Rachel's letter, she talks about how she can't see the day coming where Bruce cannot live without Batman. And you see Alfred earlier in this movie talking to Bruce and pleading with him, not that he doesn't want him to be Batman anymore. Your body can't take it, and I don't want to bury another Wayne. Rachel's telling him, I can't be in love with you because the day that comes when you don't need Batman, I don't think it's going to ever come. But when and if it does, I will be there. The only way that Bruce Wayne should have been separated from Batman is through death. And through death is the way that he would have been reunited with Rachel.
But instead,
that should have been the way. That should have been the way his story ended, given Rachel's letter.
Fair enough. Yes.
That would have been very poetic.
I just thought of another thing.
But they left that door open at the end of this movie.
I don't know if the door is as open as we think, because
it's the same thing with the Joker card.
If it was like if he was daydreaming and Bruce wasn't really there, he wouldn't have projected that he's with Selina Kyle. Alfred doesn't know her. He doesn't know their relationship. So having her
Bruce
there,
and Selina are cat burglaring now?
No, they're just together.
Catman?
They've both retired from that. She has the clean slate, and he's dead, so he can do whatever he wants.
He used the clean slate as well, I believe.
Sure, but Alfred wouldn't have projected. He wouldn't have seen her with him. So that supports the fact that he is really alive. Is what I'm saying.
But it's not as compelling. I feel it's not as compelling.
But that's
thematically
what it is. She wouldn't have been there. It would have been a random woman or just him.
It does open the door for an eventual sequel in the Nolanverse with John Blake becoming Gotham's new protector and Bruce Wayne, kind of the Batman Beyond sort of thing, where Bruce Wayne can be his wingman.
What if they did it?
I think they should.
What if 20 years later almost now, at Comic-Con, the DC panel just...
What would they call it, though?
Nightwing begins.
No.
Batman begins again.
What is Robin's alias? Like, they called Batman the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader.
The Boy Wonder. The Boy Wonder begins.
But he would be Batman. That's what's stupid. It's like, oh, we're going to make him Robin, but guess what?
Well, I think he would respect the symbol of Batman and create his own persona.
Batman Beyond, yes.
Which I really like the Batman statue too.
But then there's too many Batman movies going on. Or is it a multiverse of Batman? You got Ben Affleck. He's returning for another thing. He's not really done. But Robert Pattinson's doing his own thing. And then Michael Keaton is going to be in one.
I think it would be fine.
What are we doing here?
I think it would be fine.
We can't have too many Batmans. There's
People would go to the theaters to see it.
Of course, I'd watch it, but I wouldn't like it.
People would probably flip out. Especially if Nolan was either directing or producing.
Either his mother or his father.
Hey, good night, everybody.
But I read an interesting thing about what's the Joker's role in this film.
It is not.
Where he's not in it
at all. I don't think there's
obviously,
a role at all.
But
he kept it completely out of it.
But in universe, the Joker's still around. But what happened to him during the events of The Dark Knight Rises, we don't know. I read an interesting article where it discussed when Bane threw the city into martial law and all the prison inmates got let out. Which I just remembered the scene where Selena grabs that dude's wrists and like twists him.
Little closer, baby.
Why, honey? You want to hold my hand?
She's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm. That would hurt.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of cool.
I really wish.
This was like Chris Farley. That was pretty cool. You remember that?
That was cool.
Remember when you grabbed that guy's wrist?
I wish the Joker was. I wish they had some like unused footage, but I get it. It was a smart move to not use him or reference him.
But
at all.
you do kind of wonder what happened to the Joker in universe.
I would assume he was moved out of Gotham in this prison,
or was he executed?
So secure, maybe. But just either that or so secure, you wouldn't know where he was, and he wouldn't be able to escape no matter what. It makes sense.
I guess in the novelization,
like a maximum security.
He went to Arkham, I believe. And the article said. I'd
like to think he went somewhere else.
I wouldn't care really, but. Dark Knight Rises. What do you think about this closing chapter?
What do you like it?
What
I don't
know. Do I like it?
What do you like it?
Well, I think
satisfying?
you both have lost the ability to speak. But
it's late.
It
actually is
it's
now.
Late. It's 11:05.
It's late.
Yeah. I want to go to bed before
you can't
midnight.
record a Batman episode in day.
At day, no.
Honestly,
you have to set up the signal
if you
first.
want to know my honest opinion,
we do.
Honestly,
yes.
Yes.
Go.
Least favorite of the trilogy.
Interesting. Don't reveal your hand.
I'm not going into any of that, but I will just say out front, like, it was hard for me to, in the sense, like, rewatching it was more difficult than I wanted it to be.
Whatever happened to Mr. Reese? Anybody?
I don't care.
I guess it's Mr. Reed.
Yeah. I just don't. I just think in the end, a lot of things fell flat for me. And
see, I think everything
I'm just too bitter. Like, I can't get over the fact that, and this isn't.
Everything felt correct.
No, it fell erect instead of flat.
What?
Erect.
Okay. Anyway,
The Dark Knight erects.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joel. I'm sorry. Literally, I am sorry. Go ahead.
Boner jokes all the time.
Make your point. I'm sorry.
I'm 12.
So
legitimately,
yes. I don't know. Everything fell flat, like I said. But yeah, I just can't get over how bitter I am over the fact that they didn't follow through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have just you left a cliffhanger without payoff. You know what I'm saying? It's for no reason. So if you're going to end a trilogy, tie a bow on it, and send it on its way. Like, don't plant all these little seeds of, this is what's going to happen next. No, it's done. So why the hell would you do that to us? You know?
Because that's just how.
Unless he pulls like a George Lucas and, just kidding.
Which
I'm
is
gonna make 3 more.
Which is why it's a little boggling to me that they discuss a little bit of info from the documentary. They discuss that they made these movies not like a Lucas-esque plan, but they did them as standalone films. Which is, if you're doing that, then why are you... I think Nolan said that they did it to set it up just in case for another director to take on.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a fun little like nod, little haha. Guess what?
It doesn't promise anything, but it's putting the carrot on a stick sort of idea. Like, you expect something to come of it. Like, I didn't know Robin wasn't called the Red Hood. That's a different character entirely. I now understand. But it would have been really cool if they made a movie. And I was thinking at the time a Robin sequel, and they called it the Red Hood or something like that, like the Dark Knight.
Of course, I mean, they made Robin friggin' Batman, so which that technically, if you're gonna do
they didn't though.
I don't know.
They symbolize it.
They've kind of taken certain liberties with this trilogy that aren't true to form, but it happens all the time. So
I've heard questionable things about the movie. I think opinion of the movie was sour before I started watching it a little bit, but I was still like, I still had that sense of going into it fresh because I hadn't seen it in like 8 years. And I remember liking it at the time, and there's been just other things I've seen or read or watched criticizing it and whatnot. But I actually thought it was pretty solid. Like I said, I like how it brings back elements from both of the previous movies into one final climax. I like how they do the Joker, his kind of mannerisms and his strategies have kind of been adopted by Bane in the League of Shadows in that sense. But instead, he's framing it as a liberation and not a subjugation. That stuff's interesting. I really enjoy how the title has some meaning to it. Not only in the music with that one track that's kind of
Basara.
Not only with that, but also just, Bruce rising to the occasion. He rises to be Batman again.
John Blake rises at the end.
To Alfred's. Right. John Blake rises. Bruce rises. Literally
Talia
climbing out of the thing.
prison.
You get the theme of Why Do We Fall, Bruce, which I wish they didn't show that scene in the movie.
Oh, I did. I like it.
I wish they didn't show. It's one of those things where I wish they would have hinted at it. Because when I sent you that picture, remember?
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cool. I didn't know that they had that scene in this movie, so I thought it was something that somebody made up and saw the connection there and put the dots. But they did it in the movie. They put it in, and it kind of bugged me. But another thing you can think with Rises, The Dark Knight Rises, it's Batman taking up arms and acting during the day. In the film's conclusion, it's Batman coming out of the shadows, becoming, almost in that sense, since we made the connection in the last movie, White Knight and Harvey working during the day. He becomes sort of like a marble knight, if you will.
Yeah.
Like a white
gray. He's a gray knight.
he there's a better word. But just him rising up instead of acting in the shadows, everyone knows who Batman is. He's become the symbol of hope for Gotham. People believe in him and want him to come back, and now that he's back, he can show him. He's been vindicated, really, by Bane acknowledging what the truth about Harvey Dent through Gordon's letter.
Yeah.
So that Batman's free. Like, people now know that he's not the villain.
Oh, yeah, so he rises up from the ashes.
Yep. Like a phoenix.
Like a phoenix. There's another Harry Potter.
Another thing, though, we got to question. There you go. You got to question. Why should the people of Gotham trust Bane?
They shouldn't. He's a maniac.
So why would
he's not?
So at the same time, why would people believe him when he reads the Harvey Dent letter expose? When it could have just been made up. Like he could have made all that up.
He could have, but. I don't know. I think probably a lot of people didn't.
Or is he that persuasive?
Probably a lot of people didn't believe him, but the right ones did. And then, he released all the. It didn't matter because he released Black Knight Prison.
Going into the theme of bringing both of the earlier movies together, you kind of get the same. Gordon's a badass
until he's not,
and then they kind of introduce him back as the bumbling sidekick sort of thing, like with the frequency inhibitor, whatever that keeps the bomb from going off. Yeah. I kind of liked that.
What I thought was really cool is
kind of out of his element again.
How Batman revealed himself to Jim Gordon at the end when he's like, "We'll never know your name" or whatever, and he's like, "Sometimes it's a little boy cry to let him know the world isn't ending." And then he flies away and he's, Bruce Wayne? I liked that. I like that.
But he doesn't say it like it's a question.
Bruce Wayne.
No.
Yeah.
He reveals himself almost the same way he did with Rachel in Begins when he says a quote that they said to him. He turned, which is neat.
That's
the
a ring
Riddler.
Theory.
He's the Riddler.
That's awesome. That's great.
Bruce Wayne, the Riddler Batman.
That is great stuff.
Yes, it is. Does he reveal himself to anybody in The Dark Knight like that? just this one and Batman Begins. It bookends it.
So I am. It's the code that defines me.
I think is what the original line was.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the coat that he gave to the homeless dude
Boy
who
Bruce.
made Burlington Coat Factory.
He did, yeah.
Nice coat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I loved it.
I think it's a solid...
It's a lot of weird little plot holey type
It's solid and
things,
competently made.
It is. The timeline's a little weird, but other than that, it's fine. Cool how they brought the Scarecrow back for a little cameo.
I did like that.
Yeah, as the judge.
That to me looked very out of this world, kind of goofy, almost again Harry Potterish. Just the way all the books and stuff are piled on top of each other.
I was gonna say dystopian.
Then you got this kangaroo court kind of going on, where I do like that. I like the set design.
By exile.
Yeah, and I love his suit. How it looks like it's
just,
stuffed with hay and shit.
Yeah.
Like they get the hood off him. We'll just put Scarecrow hay in his suit.
I didn't.
You didn't notice that?
No.
Look it up real quick.
I'm going to, but play us out.
Play us out? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. This is the closing chapter, but not really, of our Dark Knight trilogy series. You can listen to this episode and our last one, which was The Dark Knight, which I would be remiss to not mention, that released on Batman Day. Yesterday was Batman Day.
Yes, it was.
So that was fun. Got a new episode out on Batman Day that y'all could enjoy and to celebrate the Caped Crusader. You can listen to that and this one, like I was saying, on Podbean, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and really any other place where you listen to your podcasts mostly. I found other websites as well where you can listen to it.
Holy shit. He does have that's cool. The straw sticking out of his,
and
suit.
It's sticking out of his what? Oh.
His suit? Jacket? What?
Hay is for horses.
What did you say?
But Pandora, do we have to...
I haven't gotten a confirmation yet. Let me look it up. Here,
no,
hold on.
You do it after the show.
No, I'll just look on Pandora right now and see if we're there. That's what I'm doing. It's happening.
2 hours later.
We're not on there yet. Okay. You can get up close. You can get real Joel with us and intimate if you want to email the show, sequelmen19 at gmail.com, or should I say G. Or you can follow us on Instagram at Sequelmen the Podcast, Twitter at Sequelmen19, or Facebook, the Facebook, and you just find us there. We're Sequelmen. Sequelmen the Podcast. That's what we are, and we're on there. Follow us, give us a 5-star review, write a review, and we'll read it on the show, and give us the old FB. Give us some feedback.
A little loosey-goosey over here.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, with that, Spencer, Joel, I can't wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequel Men, the podcast,
all films are created sequel. Take care. Goodbye. Good night.
I'm satisfied with my take, so.
Well, I always left me satisfied and smiling, so. I didn't think it was going to be that hard.
Ah, that was
Bye.
Wait.